Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to College Station, Texas, the home of Aggieland, the 12th man, and more importantly, today's 2015 development game for USA football. We will have the class of 2016 going against each other. Team White, led by Coach Ellers. Team Blue, led by Coach Wasserman. I am the Smash Justin Simmons. Alongside me, my color commentary for this afternoon's developmental game, Coach Mark Traplet. Taplet, and I already messed it up. Coach, it's good to see you, though. I'm glad that you were able to join us. We have a nice crowd on hand here in College Station, Texas, and I know you call this place home, and anytime there's football to be played, the crowd will be here.
You're definitely right about that. College Stations, they have a big support of their sports here, so I expected a good crowd here, and that's what we have today.
It's a hot day here in College Station, Texas. Although there has been plenty of rain here in the Central Texas area, the sunshine has come out, and it's come out in droves. How do you think that's going to affect this game here today, Coach?
Well, it's really going to go down to condition of how the coaches work with the kids. I think down here in Texas, we really work with our kids on getting conditioned with the type of weather we have here in Texas, because it's no surprise it's going to be hot here in Texas. So I think the coaches, since this is a really developmental type of a program that we have here with USA football, I really believe that these coaches did a good job really preparing these kids for this type of environment today.
A lot of these coaches, local coaches here from the state of Texas, they are used to this type of weather and how to coach through it and how to keep these players fresh. Again, we have a terrific training staff here for USA football, and we'll get more into that later on in the broadcast. Right now, what you're seeing is the coin toss at midfield.
Just kind of wondering about this officiating crew, if it's a local crew or if it's if they've been come in. I'm trying to see if I know any of these guys, but I think we'll have a pretty good crew, though. They look like they're a pretty fit crew, so that's one thing that's going to go a long way with this heat. So if they're fit, I think they'll do a pretty good job. But I was trying to just see if they were local boys or if they kind of came in from Houston or somewhere else.
Well, we do have a couple of Conference USA coaches, a couple of Division II coaches as well, and some of the better ranking national high school coaches as well. So we have a very good crop of, referees. We have a very good crop of referees here for these developmental games taking place here in College Station, Texas.
Good job.
Actually, your captains for today, it was in Coach Wasserman's team. It was Tatum Blassie, the quarterback, Christian Mallard, the running back, Justin Kennedy, and then Ruben Donald. That was those captains. And then for Coach Eller's team, it was Xavier Curry, Jacob Brammer, Austin Tynes, and Brandy Zendeno.
Okay.
Again, we won't be having any kickoffs, and punts will be taken, but they will not be live. They'll just get the repetition in just to keep everybody safe. Of course, USA football, their key goal is always development and player safety, and they have done a good job about it as we get things ready to go here in this first contest. Coach Eller's team in the white will be on offense first. Of course, the USA football spread formation will be the first one we see. And we see a fumble already, and he will be tackled for a loss behind the play. That was a good heads up by the linebacker for the blue team.
Yeah, and you see on that play that they weren't in a particular special defense. They were playing a zone defense on that, so they weren't doing anything fancy. They weren't blitzing. It was just a ball ended up on the turf, and the kid alertly fell on it, but it was good that the defense made him fall on it as well. So
it was the aforementioned captain, Justin Kennedy, the linebacker, coming in from the outside, heads-up play. The quarterback could not keep his hands on the football, and it's going to be second down and long.
Let's see what they try to do on this play. Just kind of spread the offense out a little bit. They got the receiver spread out.
It's a handoff going off to the far side of the field. Makes a nice cut, though. Gets past the 30, and he'll hit hard right at around the, about 35-yard line.
Exactly.
Good defensive flow coming from the weak side, having to come over, but damage has been done. Nice hole opened up on the offensive line there, Coach.
Yeah, they kind of ran a little bit of a wildcat there, and they kind of caught the defense a little bit off guard, but they're still trying to fill each other out right now, so they're going to be able to run a little bit more on the defense right now, because the defense is always going to have to guess what the offense is doing. But right now, I think the defense is going to probably make some adjustments onto that wildcat. They're not going to let them get away with that again, I hope.
Quarterback Andrew Hayden in the shotgun, trips to the left-hand side, one right receiver up top. Has some time to pass, and he will launch this one-on-one coverage. Finds the zone. Can he hang on, though?
No, Incomplete pass. No, the kid has to control that ball all the way coming down. That was a good call by the official there. The kid had the ball, but he did not control it all the way to the ground and make a football move. In USA football, which is unlike like NFL, he's got to make a football move with that. But when he comes back to the ground with that, and he did not do that, so that was a good call by the official. What was interesting that they had the defense in a two deep zone on, and they still let them catch that ball. They're gonna have to play up a little bit more on these men. They're playing a 3 deep zone right now, and that's really, I would pick that apart if I was that quarterback right now. But they're gonna punt the ball right now. So we're going to see what happens with this when they turn the ball to the other team here.
Again, this punt is not a live play, but the rep will count. So they will field it right here at the 32-yard line, and that is where Team Blue will take over. Again, I want to thank you again for joining us here on USA Football, this broadcast of this U.S. National Team Development game. This is one of those regional qualifiers, essentially. It's a very unique thing that they have with USA Football here. These kids getting a chance to come to College Station under some of the best coaching available in the United States when it comes to USA Football, teaching their heads-up initiative, preaching that player safety, and all these players aiming for a chance to represent the United States in the International Bowl, and we'll have a lot more to talk about that particular subject here in this contest. First, this is the first offensive series for the blue team here today, and we are excited to see what we're going to get here. Shotgun formation as usual with 2 wide receivers to each side. This one put down in good defensive play though there, Coach.
Great defensive play there. The defense is playing up on this, and they're not gonna play zone on these guys. They're gonna play on man-to-man, and I like that. I think it really gives the kids to really showcase what their abilities really are. Instead of playing a zone, play man-to-man and see what the other team has. I say, well, I match my man against your good man, and let's go from there. Beat me with your best, and I'm gonna beat you with my best.
The captain, Tannen Blasey, he is the quarterback for this blue team right now with trips to the left-hand side. 1 wide receiver here towards the near side. The handoff will go up the middle, finds that crease. That's all you need, Coach, just that little bit of a crease, and he gets to the second level. And nice pickup for 3rd and short coming up.
Well, if you notice, the down blockers really did a good job of disguising their blocking scheme that way. That's why they got those yards out of that. So it was a good blocking scheme, and that's one of the things I think the coaches have worked really well with these kids on, just not showing them how to block, but how to disguise their block so they can really get that runner open.
Blasey in the shotgun with the trips to the left-hand side one more time. Looks like the audible's coming in from the sideline. 4-3 defense still on display for the white team. Let's see, I guess the advantage will go to the blue. The handoff to Mallard, and again, he is so dangerous, but a very good job by that offensive line. They won. I think, Coach, you...
They really are. That offensive line is doing a very good job right now. They're beating the defensive guys off the snap of the ball and pushing them down, getting at least 2 yards separation downfield. And that's all a good running back really needs, is just that little bit of separation. Then they can turn it to a first down just like he did.
Got a new running back in Donald Bowman now in the backfield with trips to the near side. Bowman will get the handoff as he scoots, trying to get past.
Good job by that defensive man coming up and make that play. Who was that?
That was a nice play, though. Heads up by the defensive back. That was Ivan Nevades.
Good job, Ivan. Way to come up and
who
play.
Was able to...
He fought off his block and came up and made that play. He didn't sell out. Fought off his block and came up and made the play for a loss. Good job, young man.
And here you see it on the replay. Perfect textbook tackle as he entered, wrapped up, and brought down the would-be ball carrier. That'll bring up 3rd down and long. Going with that screen pass.
Good job by the lineman there. He didn't sell out. Didn't sell out on that screen, just stayed and held his position, and that's what a good lineman has to do. Don't sell out on that screen. You have to stay there and play your position and let you have enough confidence in your DBs and your linebackers that they're going to play their position, and that's exactly what he did.
The big man, Reese Forrest, there on the stop. 3rd down and a ways to go here for the blue team as Blasey getting the call from the sideline. Again, they have 1 free safety deep. You can expect him to cover something deep here on this play, as I expect this one to go through the air. Blasey looking, delivers over the middle, and it's caught. 40, 35, 30. Gets to the 25 until he's tackled at about the 23. What big heads-up play there by Indiana McAlpine. There's that name that was so interesting when we were going over in the notes, Coach, and there's that first big play that we were waiting for today.
Yeah, he made a great play on that, but your defensive back was in a great position, but he tried to go for the interception, and it cost him. He gambled a little bit, and it cost him, but the good receiver made a great play on that. I'm not going to take that away from him.
Here's the hurry-up offense. They hand it off to Bowman. He has nowhere to go, but look at him stretch it out, and then he's met with a shoulder pad right where the ball is. That is textbook tackling, and that's what you get here when you're getting taught by USA Football, the best of the best. Nice stop by the young man on the white team.
It's an excellent stop by the defensive players.
That was Carlton Hankerson.
And that's exactly what they have to do with a running back like they have there. String him out. You know, make him run north to south instead of east to west like that. So you just make him string it out on that, and then you let your DBs come up and make that play. Exactly what they did on that.
Christian Mallard steps back in the backfield. You have two wide receivers to each side. Blazy a little high, and again another big play made on the tackle.
Good job by the defensive back. He let him catch that ball, but that is incomplete. Good job by the defensive back on that, coming up and putting a lick on that. But it's a good fundamental tackling there. Nothing dirty about that. Just a good tackle by that defensive back. That's a good training by those coaches down there, just to tell the guys not to try to do the big hit. Just do the fundamentals, wrap the guy up. Don't let him get anywhere else.
Aaron Lacey, your receiver that was in question there. Ivan Nevada again making another great play on the ball. Switch is coming from the sideline, 3rd and long once again. This blue team able to get out of danger once. Let's see if they can do it again. Trips to the left-hand side. Man-on-man coverage is what I see so far, Coach. It's going out. He's in big trouble. No man's land, and that will be the best 4-letter word when it comes to the defensive vernacular. That will be a sack.
The right side of that offensive line gave up on their blocks a little bit too soon. They've got to give that quarterback a little bit more time. 97 gave up just a little bit too much. I'm sure his coach is going to go over that with him, because he should have held that block on that lineman a little bit longer to give his quarterback a little bit more time.
Well, depending on the final score of this game, that could be a definite nomination for the Shock Doctor play of the game. That was O'Shea Murphy, the defensive lineman, one of those players that we were going to be looking out for today, making a big play already.
Oh, this is going to be a field goal attempt here. Wow.
And this one's going to have some length to it, Coach.
It sure is. This kid have that kind of leg? Oh, no.
The snap wasn't good, but here comes the hold. The kick, it's going to be a little offline. It's going to hit the barn and clink on in.
That is good by the kicker. All right.
Sometimes it's a little bit better to be lucky than just good, but he had just enough leg to get there. It's Taylor Sheets.
Mr. Sheets, good job, Mr. Sheets there, but you're absolutely right. Sometimes being just a little bit lucky is a little bit better than being good, and it still counts for 3 points there. Good job, young man, Mr. Sheets. That's going to go a long way when coaches look at that down the road with you going to the next level.
So that'll be our first points here on the board in College Station, Texas, here at College Station High School, home of the Cougars. Today, home of the USA Football developmental game here in the great state of Texas.
Well, thank you so much for that little plug for the Cougars there, Coach, Mr. Justin. But we also want to remember we got some other great teams here in the Brazos County area.
As we do always in the Central Texas area, this handoff taken up to the outside as Isaac Jordan gets those hard yards on that sideline, trying to tiptoe his way down. And he's going to be a little bit short of the first down, about 3 or 4 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
That was a good job by Mr. Jordan, but he's got to turn that on up. He was trying to wait for his lineman to come up and give him some more support on the blocking, but he's got to, turn that on up and just get out of what he can. Just not to wait on his blockers. Sometimes you do need to wait on your blockers, but he needs to just turn that on up and get as much out of it as he can.
Andrew Hayden. That's something that you don't see too often, Coach, breaking the huddle here. We're always using the hurry up nowadays. At least we'll have a timeout taken with 4:29 left to go here in this first half of play. The white team will take a timeout. The blue team in the lead right now, 3-0. And again, we want to thank you all for joining us here. I'm sorry, let me properly welcome you all to Texas. Y'all here to College Station, Texas, home of the 12th man, and again, the home of Aggie Land, and more importantly, the home of the USA Development National Team that we have going on here today.
Welcome to SEC country.
We believe in football. We believe in Friday night lights, Saturday afternoons, any given Sunday.
So that's live on USA.
We believe in where
USA.
all of that began. We believe heroes are made in the fourth quarter, and that every kickoff is a fresh start. We believe in pregame rituals and halftime speeches. We believe the best 11 will always beat the 11 best. We believe in teaching fundamentals and building character. We believe in educated coaches and engaged parents.
Yeah, when we come back, we just come back.
We
It's all
believe
good,
in
guys.
creating a positive experience for all and in keeping the game fun.
Welcome back to College Station, Texas. That play for just a short yardage, and that'll bring up third down. And about 5 yards to go here on the 40-yard line of the white team. They are working their way into blue team territory. Right now, the blue team with the lead. If you're just tuning in with us here in College Station, Texas, 3-0. This game, the class of 2016 players playing for this USA Regional Development game here. As the pass, a quick little curl, almost he loses it.
Just loses the ball. That's something that the coaches are definitely going to have to get on that young man about. First thing you do is secure the ball. He made a great catch, but he's trying to look upfield too soon before he really secured that ball. And that's something that's going to hurt the team that's going down the long run. So I'm sure that's something the coach is going to have to really hammer with him, is that, secure that ball first, young man, before you try to go upfield.
Chad Melson, the defender, making a big-time play at a big-time moment. As we will welcome you to one of our sponsors, Sports Authority here. Sports Authority, the official outfitter for USA Football. And, of course, Riddell, the official supplier, helmets and shoulder pads for everything that you see here today on our wonderful players here for USA Football. So that was a big play. That would give the blue team the ball back, and let's see if they can get a touchdown on this drive. It's not going to start off well like that as it's picked up off the ground, and then the throw. And that is great team football coaches. You saw them all just conjoining on where the football was.
Well, one thing as a coach that you hate to see is you practice week after week and day after day, see the kids put the ball on the ground, and that's something that we have to work on. I'm sure the coaches are going to get on them about and work with them on, is that you got to keep the ball on the ground, and that's something that they've worked on, I know. So just eats a coach up to see that ball hit the ground like that, and especially when you've been ready for a game like this, and just to put it on the ground like that is just eating that coach up right now. So he's really trying to work with them. Like, okay, guys, let's get this ball secured, get it off the ground, and get it downfield.
Indiana McAlpine, the receiver there, and he can be a playmaker, but when they surround him like that, they don't give him much time to do so. This pass, looking for that quick slant. He threw it behind his receiver, the intended receiver, Robert Craddock. And that will bring up third down, Coach.
Yes, it's going to bring up a third down here. And that quarterback is going to have to bring that ball down a little bit more, particularly at this level. You don't want to get your receiver hurt by extending them like that in the middle. And in time a receiver's cutting across the middle on an in route like that, those linebackers and those DBs are going to be looking to lay the wood on him. So you don't want to just extend your receiver like that and have him all open like that. So he's going to have to bring that ball down where he can catch it, secure it, and protect himself as well.
Well, Blasey will be working out of the shotgun once again. Trips to the left-hand side, and we'll have a timeout taken by the white team. Maybe Coach saw something that he didn't exactly feel that he could line up with defensively with the offense as is.
No, I think that the offense was coming at him with something that he wasn't really expecting at that time. So instead of just letting them run the play and end up with a big play like they did the last time, he said, let's call it time out here and just talk it over, calm my guys down, let them know, okay, this is what we need from you and this is what we expect, and we need you to execute the plan that we've been doing all week. And that's the biggest thing in coaching, is that you just want the kids to execute what you've been working on. Nothing fancy. Let's do what's been working all week, son. Let's just work with that and just go from there.
USA Football and their coaches. Again, Coach, the big thing here is developing these kids to become not just the best football players they can be, but the best people that they can be as well. But they do have some of the best working with them, best training staffs, best coaches available in the nation to help get these kids ready for a chance to possibly compete on the world level for the U.S. national team.
I totally agree with you there, Justin. I went to some of the clinics that they had last year for Heads Up, and I thought the coaches that led those seminars and those trainings were just excellent. They did a good job, and they really opened my eyes to some things that, that changed since back when the days when I wore the leather helmet when I played football.
Coach, you do not look a day over 55. That is for sure. I doubt that you ever wore a leather helmet in your lifetime.
Close to it, Justin. Close to it, though.
But it is unique that you mentioned that, Coach. There has been a big difference and a big emphasis on safety as we have progressed in the game of football, a game that we all love. But, hey, we got to change with the times, and I'm glad that they're implementing these changes.
Yes, I'm totally glad that they are as well.
Blasey has nowhere to go, steps up in the pocket, and then he's taken down. No, is he still on his feet?
He's
No.
Down. They've got him down.
That elbow touch, that means that he is down.
They weren't expecting that zone. The defense turns up to a 2-3 zone on that time, so he wasn't expecting that zone, and that was all his receivers were covered. They were going with 4 wideouts, but every single one of them were covered that time, so good job by the defense on that zone.
Yeah, the defender, Jarrett Bell, not giving up on that play and making what would be considered a quarterback sack. 1:45 left to go in this first quarter of play, and the punt team is now out for the blue team. The snap is good, and we'll just punt this one away. It's a short punt going towards the sideline, and actually it went right out of bounds and right where it landed, so the white team will be taking over on their own 25 with 1:34 left to go. The blue team still has the lead in this first game of the weekend. We'll have 2 more for you coming tomorrow. 3-0 is your current score as we are just in the dying embers of the first quarter of play.
So far, Justin, I think this has lived up to the billing that we've had. We're not seeing anything really fancy, but we're seeing some good fundamentals right here, and that's one thing I really like I see with these kids, just fundamentals. We're not trying to have anybody just so outstanding, but I want to see good fundamentals, and that's exactly what we're seeing here today.
The white team has the ball in the handoff, a little misdirection, trying to bounce it to the outside. Another great defensive play.
Great fighting off that his blocker, staying with the play and tackling the running back there for a loss of a couple of yards. Good job by the defensive player there on that play.
Oh, that was an awesome job by the defense once again as he was able, Justin Kennedy, the captain, once again fighting off his tackle and then coming across to make the play. We're with about 59 seconds left to go in this first quarter. The white team still looking to get on the board here in College Station, Texas, in this regional development game for USA football. A quick out pass here to the near side. It's caught, but he's tackled so quickly. Derek Ryan, the receiver, on the reception. But again, that blue team defense so far tenacious, not giving up an inch thus far, Coach.
Yes. A good job on that by the defense. They're playing, they're staying in their zones. Everybody's playing their zone, and everybody's staying in their area and playing their area. And that's exactly what you want to do in fundamental football is teach the kids to stay in your area. Don't try to play outside of your zone, but stay in your zone. And they're doing a good job with that, and those defensive players are really showing what they've learned during this week, during this training that they've been through.
White team able to break the huddle with about 15 seconds left to go here on the game clock. Again, they are at the deficit. They are down 3-0. Dropping back with no time, having to be flushed out of the pocket. Lets this one go deep. He has a man open.
Okay, Mr. DB, you cannot give up on the play.
He just threw it a tad too far for Jacoby Brown. Or excuse me. My apologies, folks. That was Elijah Davis, the intended receiver. And again, Coach, you hate to see that happen. You have a wide open wide receiver, but the quarterback just puts a little too much mustard underneath it.
Yeah, he put a little bit too much on it, but Mr. Davis has to keep running that route as well. He stopped on the route, so he has to keep running that route. He got behind the defensive back, and he has to keep running that route a little bit more. Give his quarterback and bail his quarterback out a little bit more.
The 4th and long would bring up this punting situation as this one is sent away. Nobody fields it, so it will be down where it's fielded at.
20-yard difference there because number 11 and number 3 miscommunicated on that they've forgotten that, you've got to field this ball wherever it stops is where the ball is going to take place. So they've got to make sure that they field those balls.
Then that will end our first quarter of play. The blue team ahead 3-0. We'll be right back with more USA football after this.
No one ever talks about the second quarter. It doesn't get a Nike commercial or a pregame speech. No one writes it on their wrist or on their shoe. There's no falling confetti, no kissing trophies, no breaks or halftime adjustments. Yet, it's the second quarter where you find your rhythm, your tempo, and the schemes that work. It's where you need determination to keep on grinding towards your goal, where you face adversity and rise above, where what matters isn't your critics, but the encouragement of your teammates and the words spoken by your coach. The second quarter is where you keep momentum after a fast start, where each person must continue to do his job every play, every down. It's where steadfast belief in your goal is paramount. Heads Up Football has started fast. 123,000 coaches have been certified. 60% of the game participates, but you don't change the culture of football overnight. It's now the second quarter. So with the ball in your hands, I ask you a simple question. What can we do next?
Texas, folks, this national development game for USA football being broadcast to you here by SUV TV, live from College Station, Texas, here, the home of the 12th man. I am joined by the coach, Mark Taplett.
Yeah.
Told you I got it down for sure. I'm the Smash Justin Simmons. Our second quarter getting ready to start here between the white and blue team. The handoff up the middle here on first down. Breaks a couple of tackles, and he's still chugging along. That's a nice hard run, Coach. He's blocked.
Good hard run.
Able to shed a couple of tackles on that one.
Yes, he was. I think we got a player down there on the field as well. I think that's number 96, I believe it is. I can't make the number out. Can somebody help me with that? I'll make sure that that kid's okay. Get the training staff out there with him now.
As we see here on the instant replay, the young man just able to rumble right through the line, get some good yardage here on first down. It is going to end up being just a little bit short. Let's take a look at that coaching staff for USA football, as that blue team coaching staff is led by David Wasserman from the University of Mary Hardin Baylor. Just around this Central Texas area, his offensive coordinator, Joaquin Garcia from the University of Houston, Luke Gorky from Methodist University, David Carr, and John Herstein finishing out that coaching staff for the blue team. Now we'll take a look at that white team coaching staff. They're led by the Angelo State man, Jay Ellers. He's assisted by Price Tracy out of the University of Notre Dame, Damon Paul from the University of Central Missouri, Trent Early from right down the road in Austin out of the University of Texas, and then the Division I coach Ephraim Banda also on that coaching staff as well. So again, some of the best coaches available for the United States being brought in by USA Football to coach these kids. And Coach, you know how important it is, not just coaching the football, but coaching those life skills and teaching these kids to turn into good young adults.
And that's a good point, Justin, that you bring out there, and that's something we're going to make sure that, you know, we teach the kids, just not the X's and O's about football, but also some character issues, because we have so much going on in college football and even in high school and pro football now. We want to teach more character building and just help teach these guys that, you know, this is a vehicle for you, but just not the end-all of end-alls, but just ways you're learning football. You can learn character as well, and I think football teaches that if it's taught the right way. And I think with these coaching staffs that we have, I think they're really stressing that.
Well, you get a look at the player being helped off the field as Colton Dunkel.
Yeah, Mr. Dunkel seems to be okay.
Dunkel, one of the captains for the blue team. That's going to be a huge loss for them going forward if he cannot continue in this contest. And it's just a shame for the player, because this is such a great opportunity, because depending on how they perform in this game will give them an opportunity to represent the United States in the International Bowl. As we continue back on with the action, the handoff up the middle, they've used it once for the first down. This time it's stopped. On the stop will be Reese Forrest for the white team, and that'll bring up second down and about 7 to go with the ball spotted on the 31.
The defense is going to have to really make an adjustment to hold them here, because really the blue team has really been able to move the ball when they haven't put it on the ground, but they've done a good job of moving the ball. They've just got to be more consistent in getting it downfield. But you got to credit the white team and both defenses for that matter. They've done a good job of just playing fundamental football and staying in their zones and doing what they're supposed to do in their particular positions.
Isaac Shealy, the quarterback here in the shotgun for the blue team. You can see some pressure being put on the line by the white team. Twins to the left-hand side. They go with the quick pass, and a little too much excitement there, Coach, as it's in and out of the hands of Skylar Whitten, the wide receiver for the blue team.
Yeah, Skylar's got to secure the ball first. That's That's football fundamentals 101 is that you've got to secure the ball. You know, sometimes these kids are thinking about making a big play, and that's not really what they're trying to teach them here with the USA football is to teach them, okay, secure the ball, fundamentals. You know, one thing I'll tell a kid in a minute, fundamentals will win a game over talent any day. I'll take a kid that'll do fundamental football any day than a talented kid.
That'll bring up third down, and about 8 to go.
Third down, about 8. Let's see what they have here. The defense is coming out with a, they threw him offside here. Yeah, they got him offside. So they're going to
Jack Chisholm just a little too eager to try to get to the football there, Coach. And again, the penalties, I know those drive coaches nuts.
Yes, they do.
The little things, you try to work out those fundamentals. Again, these kids haven't had a lot of practice time together, but they are football players at heart. They work very hard throughout the year. But again, a lot of these kids just getting ready for their regular season to start. So, you know, a little bit work out. The King's still here.
Yeah, still things to work out. They're just a little antsy there. That outside linebacker stunting, and he was just trying to get in there. I seen him stunt that last play, so he's just trying to get in there and make a play. So it's understandable.
Let's see if the blue team can work with this penalty given up. It's up the middle, and now running and it's trying to spin his way out. That was a good run by Andy Manzo, who will get in more than enough for the first down as he tried to make their way into white team territory, Coach.
He sure did. That was a good run by Manzo. He just kind of powered his way, followed his lead blocker there, and then did the rest on his own. Good job, young man.
Jason Titzel with the stop for the white team. 9 minutes and 55 seconds left. The blue team still holds the 3-0 lead here in the second quarter, live from College Station, Texas, in this USA football national development game. And again, these kids all trying their best for a chance to represent the United States at the International Bowl. And it's very exciting for these kids as we get back to the action. Quick out, finds the man in the flat, spins off a tackle, and he'll be brought down just past the 50-yard line. But hey, this is probably the best that we've seen this blue team offense work so far early on in this contest, Coach.
Yes, it is. Chandler Rashbrook just received that ball there and just pulled it up there for a first down. It was a good run by him. Pulled it up for some good yardage there. So it was a good run and good play, well designed. They kind of faked it over to the right side, then went back over to the left side. To the left side and went back to the right side there. It was a good job by the offense.
Carlton Hankerson able to make the stop initially for the white team. This will bring up 2nd down and 5 to go, just past the 50-yard line in white team territory. The blue team with it has plenty of time. Will send it deep into coverage. And he was covered the whole way.
Yes, he was.
Was that wide receiver.
That was a good job by the defensive back there. He didn't sell out, just stayed with his man and didn't let Mr. Craddock, Robert Craddock, who was a wide receiver there. It was a good one. We need to really kind of keep an eye out there. But he did a good job there, just sticking with his receiver, not selling out, didn't go for the fake, just stayed with his man.
The clock will continue to run, 8 minutes and 40 seconds. This will bring up 3rd down and 5. So the momentum starting to slow down a little bit as this white team defense starts to really engage here to try to keep the blue team away from the red zone. And so far they're doing a good job of it.
Well, I think it's going to be critical for the white team now to really stop them. If the blue team goes down and scores on this possession before halftime, and they're doing good clock management as well. If they score on this, it's really going to put the white team with their backs to the wall.
Trying to go with the fake handoff, the fake quarterback sweep. Instead, the white team reading the handoff, and they get there like gangbusters, and about 5 or 6 of them just kind of team up and bring down the would-be ball carrier.
Yeah, Cameron Baker was the first one on that hit. Cameron's one that we really need to be looking at today. He's one that the coaches are really high on right now. But that was a good fundamental tackle by Cameron. Stayed in the zone, penetrated the offensive line there, and made that tackle. Good job, Cameron Baker.
Well, Coach, a little bit of no man's land here at 4th down and 5. You're just past midfield. Do you go for it?
Oh, yeah, I'm one of those type of coaches. I always go for it. I'm sorry. If you can stop me, stop me. Otherwise, then, I'm going to put it on the backs of my defense. But right now, if I hit those 3 yards, I'm going for it.
It looks like Coach Wasserman agrees with you as he leaves his offense in. Do or die time here, and now we have a flag.
Yeah, that's going to be motion on the offense there. That's going to move them back up 5 more yards.
Well, you already played your hand. I'm expecting now that the ball will be back a little bit. Maybe it was planned, though. Maybe you give his punter a little bit more room to try to work in fair territory instead of a possible touchback.
Yeah,
Coach.
It could have been, but I don't know. That in plus side territory, my theory is if you're in plus territory, you always go for it. That was Mr. Derek Scott that was offside on that. So we're gonna see if the coach is gonna talk to him about making sure he listens to the snap count and gets the snap count correct.
Well, this time we'll see a true punt formation as the snap is good, and this one sent very high into air, and it will be fielded just behind the 10-yard line. So this is going to leave the white team in a very difficult situation.
Yeah, it was an excellent punt by Mr. Taylor Sheets there. Good punt there. Back the blue team back up and make them have to work for it. White team back them up and make them have to work. So good job by Mr. Sheets there. Let's see what the defense comes out with. But I think the white team is going to have to get some kind of points on the board here pretty soon now.
Well, like we have mentioned before, this white team trying to get back into this contest, trying to score some points on the board. And right now, it's up to Blasey, Tad and Blasey, and the rest of the white team to try to get something going here, especially in the second quarter of play. 7:10 left. They are down 3-0. They have the ball on their own 9. There's the snap. Launching it deep in one-on-one coverage. He has him beat.
Oh, man, that was a good pass by Mr. Truelove. He's just got that receiver's going to have to adjust to that. That was a good pass by Mr. Truelove there. He's just going to have to adjust to that pass. That was on target there. He's just going to have to adjust.
Again, good defense once again by the blue team, as it was an intended pass. I thought that he had the coverage that he wanted, one-on-one coverage, as Christopher Robbins, again, showing that tight man-to-man, keeping the football away from him. That'll bring up second down as the clock continues to run, even after the incomplete pass here for this USA football developmental game. The clock will continue to run. 6 minutes and 50 seconds here in the second quarter of play. The white team, again, still trying to get some points on the board with trips to the left-hand side. Has plenty of time, still moving, now getting out of the pocket. Going towards that sideline, breaks one tackle, and he's going to be hit, and then finally brought down just shy of that first down marker, Coach.
I think he may have it there. I think he may just have made it, just had enough to make it. Let's see here. No, I think you're going to be right. He's going to be a little bit short, but that was a good job. I'm just tucking the ball. It was nothing there, so he just kind of tucked the ball and got out of it what he could. It was a good job by Mr. Truelove there. So the receivers were all covered up, so let's get some plus territory out of it, and he did that. It's going to make it a short down here, so they should be able to pick this up, but let's see what the defense does to adjust to it.
Zachary Truelove making the most of his time as QB1 right now. Sends the handoff.
Good job by the defense there.
Not much room to work with there, Coach.
It was not at all.
That was a big tackle by the big hoss up front.
Mr. Orlando Ortega. Good job, Mr. Ortega was the first one on the hit there. Made sure he put them back. In fact, he put them back, forced them back. They lost about 1.5 yards on that. Good job by the defensive line there.
Coach, honestly, coming into this contest, I was expecting a more offensive game, but right now it's been the defenses that have been showing their domination with some big plays, stopping the run, making sure that those passes don't get complete. I've been very impressed by the defensive sides of the ball so far as we get ready for this punt.
I agree with you there. One thing I strongly believe, offense will win you some games, but defense wins your championship. So
this punt will be fielded right at the 43-yard line, so the blue team will have some great field position to work with as it's fielded by Dallas Blaylock Jr. 5 minutes and 20 seconds remain as, again, we have been mentioning this a regional development game for USA football, and this is how they get here. The Team USA pathway, the regional development camps, the U.S. national team development games. That's what we're watching here. From what you see here, the best of the best will be chosen to represent the United States in international competition, which is the International Bowl, and a chance to compete for the IFAF World Championship. So again, they go by age class, they go by class, so everybody getting a chance here is kind of a little debut to let all these coaches know who they are, the coaches in the USA football system, and again, hopefully to pick the best of the best. It's not always the best player, it's sometimes also the best player that also has the maturity and has the desire to represent the United States at the next level. They are the lucky ones.
Totally agree with you there.
Oh, a beautiful play.
Oh, should be a touchdown
This
there.
one could go all the way. I see what you have. I know what you need. That's going to be a quick 6 points as Robert Craddock will bring it into the end zone for the touchdown and the first points of the game for some more points on the board for the blue team here tonight. As you see this instant replay, Coach, he just beat the zone.
Just beat the zone, beat it bad. The defensive man did not come up and cover his area in the zone like he should have, and the receiver took advantage of that, and the quarterback placed it right where it should have been, and he did the rest once he got the ball. But you're exactly right. When you play those zones like that, it's critical that you stay in your area, and they did not. The defensive back sold out. He tried to come up to make a play on the ball, and he ended up getting burned on it. The thing about it, he can't look at those quarterbacks' eyes like that and just try to second guess that quarterback. He's got to stay. If he has a man breaking in that zone, he has to stay in his area, and he didn't do that.
Taylor Sheets puts the PAT through the uprights, and the blue team have a commanding 10-0 lead here in the second quarter of play with 5:15 left. Coach, a lot of people I've heard, some wise men say, you just got to throw it where they ain't sometimes.
Yeah, that does happen sometimes.
And the defense ain't there.
The defense was definitely not there, and that's going to, kind of hurt them in situations like that. But one of the things I really like about this developmental system that they have here is that not only would it take them, we're looking at kids that will be able to help them as far as getting to the international level. And there's one thing I really hope that they take these skills back to their schools to be able to help their schools become better, their teams be better when they get back to their home schools. And that's one thing I really hope that these kids are gaining from the knowledge and the time that they're getting here.
A lot of the cool thing about USA football is that they work from one playbook, and Just Play Solutions is the provider of the U.S. National Team Developmental Games digital playbook. So you have coaches down there on the sidelines. All this new stuff, Coach. I'm so impressed with what they can do now with the technology. But each kid gets a playbook downloaded to their cell phone thanks to this application, so they can practice even when they're not at practice. They can see the plays. As you see the incomplete pass, and again the defense from the blue team pressuring the quarterback there in that situation and forcing a bad pass.
Yeah, they forced a bad pass on that one, but Mr. Davis has to try to get back a little bit and help his quarterback out and run that route a little bit more. I'm pretty sure he wasn't supposed to stop on that route like he did on that. So Mr. Davis has to complete that route a little bit better. I think he saw those defensive backs coming up and kind of heard footsteps and kind of cut his route off a little bit short there.
This would be expected, Coach, when you have minimal time like this to work with the kids. The offensive line where you have to have those calls, those swishes, are the ones that suffer the most just because there's so much little things that have to go right. As you see the quarterback trying to move out of the way, and instead he's going to be brought down to the ground. And a good defensive play once again. This time it is Trey Reed, the defensive lineman, making the sack for the blue team, and right now they have all the momentum on their side.
Yes, they do right now. I don't know if you noticed that, but if you look at the replay on that number 28 on the defensive line, just completely ran over his that offensive lineman. That was he didn't make the tackle, but he did get back there and make penetration in that in the backfield. But that's one thing that coaches are going to look at the next level. The D1 coaches that may be out here, and all the coaches that are out here looking at that, the power that kid just displayed, just fundamental power, just overpowering his blocker.
You saw it there on the instant replay as, again, good defense shown by the blue team. The white team trying to make something happen. Shovel pass, and it's caught. He breaks two or three tackles, puts his shoulders down, takes the contact. Made a big play out of nothing there,
yes,
Coach. That's all you can ask for sometimes.
Yeah, and we had one thing that you've got to understand in this is that, there was a couple of bad fundamental tackles on that. I think a couple of kids on the defensive side are trying to make a big hit, and that's not what we emphasize here. We emphasize fundamentals. Instead of making a fundamental tackle, instead of trying to just make the tackle, it kind of sprung him for a big gain there, even though it looks like they're going to punt it here, though.
Well, Christopher Roberts was able to make something out of nothing, but it wasn't enough as the punt will be sent away. It's a low line driver. It's going to go over the head and then caught from behind. A little of that Willie Mays-Hayes action as he makes the basket catch. And
Mr. Christopher Robbins on that receiving that defensive back there. Good job, Mr. Robbins.
So Robbins and the blue team will be taking over the ball in their own territory, just outside of their own 20, and they'll look to try to add to their lead. Right now, the blue team with 3:23 left here in the first half of play has the lead 10-0 over the white team. And again, folks, if you notice the uniforms, they are fantastic. We want to thank the USA Football official supplier, Siege Sports. They make custom-made uniforms for small colleges as well as high school, and of course, are the official supplier of the team uniforms for USA Football. Coach, when they get to the U.S. national team, they get these beautiful customized jerseys. It
Yes,
makes
they
for a
do.
totally customizable game day experience, and they do a
Yes, they
really
do.
fantastic job.
Just I don't know if I told you, but my son had actually came up in the USA as well. One of my youngest son as well, and that's one thing I was really impressed with. I wanted to keep his jersey after the game was over because it was a really nice uniform that he got after from playing with them.
Blue team with the ball as he flared this pass out to the outside, makes one move, man missed, and then dragged down from behind. Nice little gain there for
And
Team Wasserman.
Alpine, Mr. Alpine again, Alpine. Good
Brantley Sendeno, the linebacker who can also play a little bit of wide receiver out there, making the grab. A lot of athletes here for both sides. You'll see a lot of kids playing both ways, some that probably only play offense at their high school, getting a chance to showcase their skills here on the defensive end. Of the ball.
Maybe trying to change the coach's mind back at home school, saying, hey, coach, I can play both ways, or maybe I want to play a little bit more defense or offense than I've been playing.
They're going to hand this one up off the middle. He has some running room. Bounces it
Good
out to
cutback,
the
good
outside.
cutback, John.
You see
Good
the
cut.
speed. Does he have the pace to go all the way?
Oh, good job.
And unfortunately, he does not. He just takes an errant step out of bounds. But you saw the big playability there by the running back.
Christian Mallard there, a great job of cut back there by Christian and making something out of nothing there. His defense really hit that diagnose pretty well, but Christian made a little bit cut back cross field and made him chase him down. Good job, Christian.
Good blocking at the point of attack.
Yes, it was.
And then just showing the pure speed after that. So again, now they're in white team territory. Bad snap as they have to pick it up. Able to
Good
make a
shot.
miss? Not necessarily. Cameron Baker,
Yeah,
the
Cameron.
beast coming through and making the sack. A big-time play needed
Yes,
for the
it
white
is.
team in a big-time situation there, Coach.
Yes, it was. Mr. Baker is one of the kids that we're watching here today, and, he made a big play when they needed it. But then again, here we go right back again, Justin. Putting the ball on the ground, that costs time, and that's throws your whole timing off, and it gives that defense a little more time to respond to what you're doing.
More importantly, gives that white team some time to rest. You see some hands on their hips right now. A very hot day, even though the sun has started to set. Folks, don't worry. Just because you don't see anybody on the other side doesn't mean that nobody's here. They just all decided to sit in the shade because it is very hot here in College Station, Texas.
Yes.
Second down and a long ways to go. Ball marked just past the 45, make it the 46. It's a low snap, and they hand it off to Mallard once again up the middle, and he is just so quick, an instant
Yes, he
6 or
is.
7 yards per carry right now, Coach.
Yes, he is. He's one of the things. He has a good explosiveness to him. But one thing I still got to hand it to that offensive line. They're really filling up those holes and disguising their blocking schemes. So they're really opening it up for him. I don't care how good of a back you are. If your line's not blocking for you, then you're going to have a long day.
Well, you got to find those holes to get that great vision, and offering that great vision are these Riddell helmets that all Team USA is wearing. These players all wearing shoulder pads and helmets sponsored by Riddell. And, Coach, I actually played in a Riddell helmet back in high school, and I tell you, they were always my favorite. They came out with the Revolutions just at that time. I'm showing my age there when you're talking about the first-generation Revolution helmets.
No, I'm glad you point that out. I think Riddell's done an excellent job. Matter of fact, with my son's middle school, I actually just bought him his own helmet instead of just going with the school had, and I brought a Riddell helmet.
Quarterback keeper, look at him. Look at that athleticism, able to jump the would-be tackle. You saw him trying to pull that Deion Sanders, trying to go low. You got to wrap up.
Good job by him. A good run. Good, good looking at the field. Oh, we got two players down. It may be part of the thing that you were just talking about there, Justin. This heat starting to be a factor now. These starting conditioning is always going to be a factor in these games. So we got two players down. Hopefully they're okay, but we've got to understand that, we'll take all precautions with these kids, and that's one of the things that Heads Up Football is making sure that they do, is make sure that these children are hydrated, because there's somebody's child out there, and we do realize that and keep that in mind.
We know, Coach, and I know that you have kids, and I have a lot of family that plays this terrific game of football. We're going to take a little bit of a break here, let them get to those kids, let them tend to make sure that they're okay. We want to make sure that everything's all right. 31 seconds left to go in this first half of play. 10-0 lead for the blue team. You'll see some more football coming up at you here on USAFootball.com.
All right.
We believe in football. We believe in Friday night lights, Saturday afternoons, any given Sunday. And we believe in where all of that began. We believe heroes are made in the fourth quarter, and that every kickoff is a fresh start. We believe in pregame rituals and halftime speeches. We believe the best 11 will always beat the 11 best. We believe in teaching fundamentals and building character. We believe in educated coaches and engaged parents. We believe in creating a positive experience for all and in keeping the game fun. We believe in team. We believe in the lineage of Bryant, Rockne, Lombardi, and Dad. We believe you don't need a stadium or yard lines to have a game. We believe that even greater than the heroes on the big screen are those you give a ride to home from the game. We believe there is nothing more American than football, and that football gives us all something to believe in. Teamwork, confidence, pride. We are USA Football. We believe the scoreboard doesn't tell the whole story. We believe in the football family and that we can achieve a better, safer game together. We believe in football.
Welcome back, football fans. It is a little bit of that Christmas time in Texas, if you know what I mean. You love football. We have your football in July here in College Station, Texas. The USA National Developmental Game taking place for you here on the campus of the Cougars in College Station High School. Again, College Station, Texas, known for a few things, Coach, and I know because I came to school here. Texas A&M, known for Aggies, First Yale, and, of course, that beautiful set of adult establishments off of Northgate. Always something to do around here.
It's always never a dull moment in College Station, never a dull moment in Aggieland.
And this one, a lot of trouble, and it's going to be a turnover at the worst time possible for the blue team.
Exactly. You had a miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver. And the running back there. He didn't put the ball in. He wasn't. I don't know if the running back was expecting it or not, but, quarterback, just kind of a miscommunication and put the ball on the turf there.
Nick Valentine with the big play. That one, I think, Coach, should be nominated for our big play of the game by the Shock Doctor play of the game.
I think you're right. It's something that we just will definitely keep in mind.
Especially if the white team can convert this one into points. They only have 22 seconds to do it and not a whole lot of time, and they haven't looked amazing on offense just yet.
Hadn't.
A little bit of time as they try to put this one over the middle. Instead, it goes into coverage. It's deflected by at least 3 sets of hands before it hits the ground. The last guy I saw touching it, Andrew Napier, actually, he got it at the point of attack there, Coach.
Yeah, but you have your quarterback is trying to force that ball into the heart of the defense, and that's just not going to happen. A good defense is not going to let that happen, so he's got to be able to pull out of that and look for the other receivers. He's sticking with his main receiver, not looking off his primary receiver, so he's going to have to look off his receiver and find some of his other players that are open.
19 seconds left to go in this first half of play. 10-0 is your score. The blue team in the lead. The white team trying to cut down on the lead before the half. A little bit of time, putting it over the middle, and it's caught!
Good catch.
All the way to the end zone. A big catch and play by receiver Derek Ryan, scoring the much-needed points for this white team, and that will be a touchdown for the white team, Coach.
By the quarterback and the receiver there. The receiver got 2 steps on that DB, and that's all that quarterback needed. And the receiver did the rest. Just make that defensive back pay for, not being able to keep up with you.
I know we're only supposed to get one Shock Doctor play of the game. We're just nominating them left and right here now. But after that big defensive play to make the recovery, we have that big offensive play to make the touchdown. The kick is up, and it is good.
Good job.
So just when you thought this was going to be a one-sided game going into halftime, Coach, instead the blue team making a big mistake on offense, the white team capitalizing and making the most of it, and they cut the lead down to 3, 10-7, your score with 12 seconds left in this first half of play.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be a long day for the blue team if they let the white team score, touchdowns with 2 plays in 5 seconds and they score a touchdown. It's going to be a long day for your defense if that's what they were pulling out the bag on them now. But that was a good job by the coach there and being able to capitalize on that turnover and put it in for points.
Coach, guys, folks, let me take a little bit of this time to thank a lot of our wonderful sponsors here for USA Football that allow these games to take place. Our football provider, Wilson, they also make the NFL football. Our jersey provider, those custom jerseys made by the little logo that you saw on your right side of the screen that just went down, the Siege Sports. They do a fantastic job with the USA stuff. The helmet and shoulder pads, they are provided by Riddell. And again, that Speed Flex, the Speed Revolution helmet, one of the best on the market. The mouthpiece, all these players getting a custom mouthpiece by Shock Doctor, and they're also our sponsor for the play of the game. Gotta stay hydrated out there in the hot Texas sun. None better than Gatorade to do the honors here. And of course, all these players getting to put their heads to sleep at night at the Marriott. Well, at least their parents are.
Yeah, the parents are. Good. They're looking like the blue team's just going to take it into the knee, going to the halftime here. But, you know, I like what you brought out about the equipment. And one thing you got to understand about what they've really done with the evolution of the equipment now is really for the protection of the player. And I think it's to try to reduce the injuries and the concussions that we've had in the past. So I think they're doing a great job with the equipment. The equipment manufacturers are doing a great job, especially our sponsors.
Well, football is a gentleman's game. It looks like both teams agree that that will be the very last play of this half, and we'll go into halftime here in a very hot day in College Station, Texas. The blue team ahead at the moment 10-7, but Coach, we have a full game of football. The second half coming up for you in just a little bit.
Second half, game's not over till the last gun sound, so the fourth quarter, so we do have a lot of football to play.
A lot more football coming up here on USAFootball.com.
Let's go, head up. Squeeze, sink, and.
When coaches get to the high school level, I think they assume that everybody who plays knows how to play, and they're going to be under Friday Night Lights, and everything's going to be great, and it's just like it is on TV, and it's not like that. You're going to get kids that have never played before, and you're going to get coaches, really, that have never coached before. You really need to be able to teach coaches how to coach.
Through the Heads Up program, what you do, 3 pillars, as they say. 1, concussion awareness. 2, how to truly, properly fit equipment. Finally, here's how we're teaching the ultimate aspect of contact in tackling.
This is the basics and the fundamentals. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought as an educator, this was a curriculum for football.
Feet, squeeze, sink, hands, step.
It was really a no-brainer to get involved with USA Football and the Heads Up program.
They go through a progression of tackling. They're actually learning how to keep their head up, not to lead with their helmet, and they're taught that from the beginning.
It's limited the amount of concussions that we've had this year, basically because we have worked on heads-up tackling from day one.
Squeeze, sink, hands, right foot, running through, sink, hands. Squeeze, feet, explode, there you go, head up. Feet. Eyes up, shoot, head up. The coaches have completely bought in and endorsed what we're doing.
Come on, get those elbows tight and high.
What we really didn't anticipate was how aggressive that the Coaches Association here in Virginia went after it, saw the need to make the game better and safer, and they ran with it.
Go heads and eyes up, heads and eyes up.
The days of popping the old smelling salt or the ammonia tabs are gone, and that's a good thing.
Heads Up Football has allowed concussions to become a topic of conversation in a positive way.
Well, I just think it's standardized everything. It becomes a much more consistent way of teaching the game.
This kind of instruction keeps my staff in line.
They're seeing a very distinct improvement and reduction in injury. And I think that says a lot about the program.
What this has really done, because we're hands-on with the parents now, we're showing them how the progression goes, we're teaching them the terminology as well, it brings a level of comfort to them.
I think it's really good that all the coaches are learning proper techniques on how to teach these kids to do it right.
I'm so relieved that they're teaching this to these kids at such a young age, because I was never taught that.
In our family room, Britton will show us, and demonstrate on his dad, not his mom,
Well, welcome back, folks, here in College Station, Texas. We would like to take this time to thank some of our wonderful sponsors here that are bringing this live telecast of USA football to you here. We want to thank Field Turf, the official field building grant partner of USA football, along with Marriott Hotel, the official hotel partner of USA football and the U.S. national teams. And again, I'm looking forward to my hotel room and getting a good night's sleep. It's been hot here today. The action building up as Coach, like we said before we went into halftime, we thought we were going to have a one-sided affair considering the way the the blue team was dominating early on, but mistakes can cost you in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw at the end of this first half.
Yeah, the plus or minus of putting the ball on the ground or turnovers is going to really hurt your team or help your team, and the white team is taking advantage of that. Not only did they take advantage of it, they did it at a very quick pace, and that's one thing that, number one, it keeps the defense off balance, and it gives your offense a time to rest as well. So for them being able to do that quickly as they did shows, number one, they can take advantage of what's been given to them, and number two, that they're keeping the defense off balance. So that's something that really I got to credit the coach and staff with the white team were doing there.
Coach, in a tight ball game like this, where you're only down by 3 points, if you're the team that's ahead, what are you telling the kids in the locker room right now?
Well, I'm telling the teams ahead, I tell them to keep pressing. We've got to keep playing our game. We can't come out of our game just because they did score with a short time there. We got to keep playing our game. We can't just be so shocked by what they did, but we got to keep doing the things that got us to this point. So I'm going to keep telling my kids we keep our feet on the gas pedal and we keep pressing. We keep making them catch up ball. So they're playing catch up ball right now. So regardless of them scoring, they're still playing catch up to us. So that's one thing I'm going to communicate to my kids. So if they're playing catch up, let's keep doing what we're doing to keep their backs against the wall. So they keep trying to guess what we're trying to do and catch up with us.
If you're Coach Ellers, your team was down for a whole lot of the time during the first half of play. The big plays came at the end. What do you tell the white team at halftime right now as they get ready for the second half?
Well, I think Coach Ellers is even in a better position. One thing he's going to say, hey, look how quick we scored. They put the ball on the turf. We took advantage of that, and we scored with it. So I think what he's telling his kids right now is that, hey, we can score on this team. They just we made some bad plays during the first half. We made our adjustments, and now we're ready to play ball. So the first half is theirs. That's what I'm going to tell them. Let them have the first half. We came back and scored. From this point on, we're going to take control of the game. So, we show we can score on these guys, and let's keep doing that.
Well, I believe that's what the white team is going to come out with, that type of integrity as they come out getting ready for the second half of play. Folks, if you are finding yourself around the Central Texas area for some reason and you can't make it today but you can make it tomorrow, we encourage you to come out here to College Station High School and their field here at the home of the Cougars. USA Football provides these games for free, so no ticket needed. Just come on in, bring the family, and enjoy some good old-fashioned football Americano, as they say down south of the border. Sorry, I love all the sports, Coach, but football has always had a soft spot for my heart, especially when you're from the state of Texas, like you are as well. It's a little bit of that poetic justice. We're going to have a little bit of a chance to probably sneak in some of those Friday night lights here during the middle of the summer. It's not just a movie, it's a lifestyle.
Exactly, and that is here in Texas. Football is definitely a religion, and I want to reemphasize exactly what you said. This is probably the best ticket in the house right now. You can come out and see some good football playing right now for absolutely free, and support the kids and support the state and support what USA Football is doing to develop our children.
And you talk about some of these kids that you see developing right now. There is a slew of NFL and college players that have cut their teeth here, so to speak, and then move on to showcase their talents at the second level and then eventually the professional level, like the Honey Badger Tyrann Mathieu. We'll take a look at some of the college alumni here for USA Football. Justin Jackson, the Pflugerville products, RJ Pirine, Terrain Folston, Anu Solomon applying his trade as the QB at Arizona, Wayne Lyons, Kevin Hogan, the quarterback at Sanford, Charles Nelson, Corey Coleman, just to name a few of the alumni that are playing college football at the moment that essentially graduated from this USA football program.
Exactly, and that's the thing that, if you've been a good developmental program, and that's what a coach at the next level is going to be looking at. Has this kid developed during his career, during the time that he's gone from junior high school ball to high school ball, how he's developed as a player, and how he's developing his classroom and with character as well. So I think USA football really stresses that. So we're not only doing developmental as far as on the field, but what we're doing off the field with these kids as well is really trying to develop them into a well-rounded, not only player but person as well.
And Coach, you mentioned that as a coach and as a father, I know that you would probably be more skeptical to trust certain players or certain coaches to coach your child personally, but you know that USA football brings the best of the best.
Exactly. That's one of the things that I was really proud of during my time with when my son did play with USA football, is that I really think that the coaches were really interested in him as a person and as a player. And I had no problems with him going out of town with them. With times I couldn't make practices. I made all the games, of course, but sometimes I couldn't make practices. But I had every confidence that my child was in good hands. And I wholeheartedly agree with you. There was so much going on in our world today, but knowing that you can put your hands with a coach that's not going to molest him and is going to teach him exactly what he needs to learn to be able to get to that next level is really something a parent really just does a parent's heart good.
Yeah, it's all about the safety and crafting these young men, or young boys into young men. We want to take this chance to thank a few of our other sponsors as well. First off, the St. Vincent Sports Performance. St. Vincent Sports Performance is the official sports medicine partner of the U.S. national team. They're the ones that provide the nutrition guidelines, some of those workouts to fully try to get the best of the best out of these players. And of course, Just Play Solutions, the provider of the U.S. national team developmental game digital handbook. It is really cool what they have there, Coach. You're messing with your iPad right now, and these kids get a chance to have this application. It was actually created by a former collegiate football player, and now you can pretty much study on the go. So no excuses anymore. Like, Coach, I left my playbook.
And not only that, it works both ways. Not only can the kids actually study as well, coaches can go on different media sources now and look at these players and how they're developing, not only how the teams are developing, or how the schools are developing as well.
Well, I know you didn't hear the whistle out there, folks, because
No,
we didn't hear it either, but the third quarter just started.
Back in action.
And we want to welcome you back, just in case you just tuned in late to us here in College Station, Texas. The coach, Mark Taplett, myself, the Smash Justin Simmons, happy to be with you here. The production crew, SUV TV, doing a fantastic job. And, of course, we want to thank USA Football for having us here in College Station, Texas. Our first development national team game that you'll see here in College Station. We'll have two more for you here tomorrow. But right now, the blue team trying to maintain the lead that they have right now. And they're not going to be able to do that with great defense being applied up front by Keithlin McLeland as he makes a stop behind the line of scrimmage for little to no gain, and it's going to be third down and short. And the blue team, it looks like they're still feeling those ill effects from making that mistake late in the second quarter.
I think you're exactly right. I think not only that, but I think the white team is kind of going on that emotion wave that they have from the first half of scoring that touchdown right at the end now. So they've kind of hyped it up and taken their game up a little bit. So blue's going to have to really step it up here, because I think white is really kind of feeling themselves right now.
Well, they know they're only down by 3, and they know that they can get back into this game quickly. Shotgun formation, twins to both sides. They're going to hand this one up off the middle and spinning, still trying to get somewhere. But number 49 for me was the guy, Cameron Baker, able to really stop the running back in his tracks, and then the rest of the team ganged up and helped him out there.
Yeah, they did. Cameron still is making some great plays out there. He's been doing a good job all game here. He's been stepping up during times that he really needed to, and he's done so there. You got another player down here on the ground for the blue team.
That was the running back, Santana Saiz, who is still down. He has his helmet removed, and they are checking on him. Again, like I said, that player, Cameron Baker, was clamped down around the feet, trying to stop him and just trying to keep him from getting the first down. We were talking about the USA football alumni. We mentioned the college players that are currently playing in the NCAA, but take a look at this very distinguished pro set of players that have plied their trade here in USA football. You got the former Georgia running back Todd Gurley, of course, famous Jameis Winston, the national winning quarterback from Florida State, Malcolm Brown, the big defensive lineman from the University of Texas, Ty Montgomery, another one there as well for USA football. Again, I mentioned the Honey Badger Tyrann Mathieu from LSU, only 5'9", but He can run like all get out.
Great player, yes.
It doesn't matter about the size all the time, does it, Coach?
Sometimes it matters about the heart that's inside the player, and that's one thing that I really kind of look for. Sometimes I'll take a kid with heart over a kid with talent. You know, if they're going to really apply themselves and listen to them, I'll take a kid with a lot of heart, because they're going to give you that every 100%, 10% every time that they step out there on the field, every play.
And just before I forget, before we get a bunch of mad tweets, of course, yes, the Baylor ex-quarterback Bryce Petty, one of those players. They won't let us hear the end of it. When Waco is so close to College Station, Texas, is one of those things where a lot of these kids you'll be seeing play at the next level, and especially at the Division I level. So you're getting a good look of some players that might be representing your favorite alma mater wherever you went to school. I'm hoping a few of these kids will be strapping on the maroon and white for Texas A&M and leading them to a national championship. Others wearing that burnt orange at University of Texas. We just mentioned those Baylor greens, but of course, you got so many colleges to choose from, and they all have their eyes here at some of the best talent in the United States.
And this is a good place to really start looking at those guys and really start trying to plan for your team down the future, you know. So these kids are really learning the good fundamentals. They're learning good tactics here as far as players, and they're learning some good character. So that's just what a coach wants. And I imagine some of those coaches on the field that are coaching these kids right now saying, maybe I need to tell my recruiters to kind of look at this kid a little bit more. Maybe some of the ones that are even across the field from them.
Well, the reason why these kids do get this opportunity is because of the wonderful sponsors, and we want to thank them right now, like Upper Deck, the official trading card partner of USA Football and the U.S. national teams. Now, Coach, I don't know if you saw it on your way in, but they had some of those cards of those aforementioned pros like Tyrann Mathieu hanging up there and those big banners, and they get a really cool card if they make the U.S. national team in action and such. And I remember when I was a kid, collecting those Upper Deck cards was always awesome. Always searching for that Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card back in the day. And again, they do some wonderful work for USA Football.
Yes, they do. Well, I was hoping that if we did such a good job today, that they'd make a card for us, for an announcer, a play-by-play card.
I haven't seen it. That's how I know I made it.
I haven't seen it yet either, but I'm still hoping against hope that it's going to be there before we leave today.
We'll ask Upper Deck what they can do for us.
We will do so.
We also want to thank Volt Athletic, the official strength and conditioning solution partners of U.S. national team and U.S. national team development. Basically what they do is they're the ones that give them the plans for the weight room, stretching, all that good stuff that goes into physically making you prepare to play football. Volt Athletic is responsible for doing that, and you can tell that these kids look like they're in the prime shape of their lives, at least at this young age, to be competing for some of the most prestigious spots in USA Football.
Yeah, absolutely right. Well, I'll have a comment on that conditioner right after this play.
9:50 left as we get back to the action. They try to draw the defense off sides with the hard snap, and that does not work. It is 4th down with only a yard to go. You believe that they tried to draw them off sides, and they're just letting the clock wind down. 9:35 left.
Down, looks like.
This is a very interesting coaching tactic here deployed by the blue team.
Well, it's interesting in this type of a game. We're not, so for say, trying to win a championship. So I'm just kind of interested that you just let the kids either play one way or the other, either punt it away or just let's run a play on that. So it's just kind of interesting that he would do that. But, that's why they made him coach. But going back to your conditioning question, and I like our sponsor that we're having, conditioning is such a big part of football today, and that's one thing we try to get over to the kids, is that it's a year-round thing now. It's just not, okay, I'm going to go out before school starts and try to get myself in shape. Conditioning is really important, and that's why I like what our sponsors are doing with these kids now, is really getting them into the habit of conditioning year-round, and just not before football season starts, but just a year-round thing.
Here comes the snap. This punt will be not exactly shanked, but it doesn't get the distance that he was probably looking for as it goes out the near sideline in a hurry.
Yes, it does, and that's going to give the white team some good field position, and they've already riding that momentum wave right now, so blue team just kind of gave them a gift right there.
Well, you saw the body language on the special teams unit for the blue team leave with their heads hanging down a little bit. This white team looks pumped and ready to go. They know they're only down by 3, and with 9 minutes and a second remaining here in this third quarter of play, they got a lot of time to make up the deficit. This third quarter brought to you by Riddell, the official supplier of USA Football helmets and shoulder pads that you see out on the field at this very moment. Shotgun formation with trips to the right-hand side. Lots of time for True Love, and he throws it right into traffic, Coach.
Player, yeah, it wasn't small. He's doing the same thing. He's going with looking at his primary receiver and not looking off his primary receiver. If he's going to play at the next level, he's going to have to learn how to look at primary receiver off and go to some of his secondary receivers, which he'd had a couple that were open, but he wanted to try to force that ball, against a good defense, which the blue team is a good defense. As we've seen today, that's just not going to work all day.
Well, Nicholas, excuse me, Nicholas Sloan there on the stop. 8:55 left to go in the third quarter of play. Shotgun formation. Once again, they run the spread, and again is put right over the heads. Now, a little mistake there, Coach, and you don't like to see that, especially as a coach.
No, you don't. And the thing that's really telling more in this is that the momentum that they had is really starting to slip slowly away. They've had the momentum, and now they're letting it kind of slip a little bit away from them just on a couple plays that really just weren't really smart plays. So if they're going to keep that momentum that they had from the first half, they're going to have to really do something on this down.
Coach, let me ask you real quick, is this 2-down territory with 3rd down and long just right outside of midfield? Are you trying to make up everything here on 3rd down, or are you going to give yourself 2 downs?
You want to try to get as much as if you could get at least half of that, then I would go for it on 4th. If he can make up half of that, then it's 2-down territory. If not, if he gets sacked, then
and he almost did as he throws it downfield. Big play.
With a good play. Good play by the receiver there, and it's good with the quarterback. The receiver and the quarterback had good communication there. The receiver didn't give up on the play, and the quarterback kept running, kept looking for his open receiver there on that play. That was a good job.
True Love got flushed from the pocket. Elijah Davis making the big grab in the open territory, and that gives them a fresh set of downs in enemy territory. They find themselves with the ball on the blue team's 43-yard line going in. So the white team trying to take the lead for the very first time here with 8 minutes remaining in this third quarter of play. 2 wide receivers to the near side with 2 running backs. They hand it off, and finding some room on the outside, tries to cut it back in, but he was met early.
Good pursuit by the defense. Good pursuit by the defense. They strung that play out. They made the running back keep running toward the sidelines. And anytime you can keep that running back going towards the sidelines instead of up the field, then you're going to give your defensive opportunity to pursue just like they did and make that tackle.
Nicholas Sloan there on the stop. Hey, if you want to find out more about USA football and everything that's going on, you can follow them on Twitter at USNFT and on Instagram at the very same address at USNFT. And I'm a big Instagram follower myself, so I will definitely be adding that to my subscription here as the True Love going back to pass, trying to thread that needle and looking for Elijah once again, but he just couldn't get through in that tight window, Coach.
Yeah, you had too many defensive backs in that zone. That was going to be really hard sell there. So he's same thing. I'll say again, don't try to force that ball. Look towards some of your secondary receivers, Mr. Quarterback, Mr. True Love.
And now the blue team has a connection to key in on as True Love. That was the second time in a row that he was looking for Elijah Davis, so that they seem to have found some chemistry and trying to hook up with each other here to probably get another score for the white team as the lights are starting to come on here in College Station, Texas. Yes, the Friday Night Lights do come to USA Football, or does USA Football come to the Friday Night Lights? Either way, it's starting to work out. True Love with time to pass, gets flushed out of the pocket.
Holding,
you see that flag.
Yeah, that's going to come back. That's holding there.
Oh, but look at the arm strength, and that is probably the best catch that will end up being a non-catch that I've seen.
Exactly, yeah, that's going to come back because of the holding. But
well, I got to give you credit where credit's due, Derek Ryan. That was a tremendous catch to go past the defender, but the dirty laundry.
Catch, yes, that's going to bring it back. That's one thing that you hate to see as a receiver. After you've made an excellent play like that, then that's coming back because of a hold.
Well, the offensive line, you saw that rush come right up the middle, and True Love was able to escape the pressure, but again, that offensive line was just doing everything it could to try to keep the defenders at bay, and instead they just held a little too much, and the referee called it.
He was trying to give his receiver a little bit more time to get open, which he did, but I guess the line just couldn't hold that. The defensive out. They were really coming that time on he did send his linebackers in on a blitz that time, so it was just a little bit more that the line could handle at that time. So somebody just had to reach out and grab somebody.
Well, the big play negated because of the penalty. They will accept the penalty, does the blue team, so that will knock the white team back 10 yards from the spot of the hold. And it's now 3rd down and 19.
I'd go right back at the same thing. I've already just showed that he could beat that defensive back. I'd go right back at it if I was a coach.
Well, they do
And
have
that's
Derek
probably
Ryan.
Exactly what he was thinking. He said, hey, we're going to go back to that. Let's just sit and talk about it, though. But I would go right back at that same play.
Timeout taken here in the third quarter with 6:34 left to go. The blue team up 10-7, but the white team threatening as they're trying to make their way past midfield. Now, they had that opportunity, just in case you tuned in late. There was a big play negated that you just had missed. Yeah. And now the white team having to work their way back into scoring position. We want to take a quick time to thank some more of our sponsors here. The official sporting good retailer for USA Football, the Sports Authority, and of course, Gatorade for providing all the fluids that are necessary here to keep our players hydrated on a very hot and humid day here in College Station, Texas.
You know, one thing, Justin, that I really noticed that, you know, even though that penalty did kind of hurt White, one thing they've shown on this possession is that they can move the ball. So even that penalty hurt them, I'm not really so concerned about that as the coaching staff. I'm saying, hey, we can still move the ball on these guys. Let's keep doing what we're doing.
Well, the USA football does follow a spread formation as their base offense, a 4-3 defense as their base. Mm-hmm. So you'll see that deployed by both teams, as you see here in the spread with two running backs back. Getting flushed out of the pocket once again. True Love winds up, sends it deep, and it's going to be like a fast food restaurant in and out of his hands.
Out of his hands. That receiver's going to have to concentrate on that. Like I said, you know, go right back at the same thing. Challenge those defensive backs. If you just show that you can go at them like that, go right back at them. But that receiver's going to have to hold on to that ball. You know, if he's going to make it at the next level, or even make it to take his team a little bit further than they went last year, he's going to have to hold on to that ball.
And Drew Thomas just missing with the concentration there. You got to look the ball all the way in your hands and make sure you complete the catch first.
Yeah, you do.
As this one will be ready to be sent away. So the white team had a chance. They'll punt it away. It's a good punt, and it will drop once again. Some miscommunication. Instead, they wind up lucky as it goes into the end zone for a touchback. Exactly, Coach. 10-7 still remains your score. I really thought the white team was going to come back into it
really
there.
Did too. I'm kind of surprised that they kind of made some errors on that play. Kind of hurt them, but I still think they got the momentum, though. They've shown that they can move the ball on, and they show that they can challenge their defensive backs on the blue team a little bit more. So I think they're all okay.
Well, that penalty, they can be drive killers sometimes,
yes,
and that's exactly what happened right there. It was just that one holding penalty that took a touchdown into a 10-yard loss, and they could not recover after that.
Well, that's the one thing that you want to make sure that you're not hurting your team with, is penalties, of course, because that negates the great play that they had and negates yardage as well. So they're going to have to really work on that to make sure that they don't make those mistakes if they're going to be able to come back in this game.
Blue team coming back out on offense. They'll start from the double spread with two wide receivers to each side. The underneath pass hooked up. He makes a move, makes one man miss, still on his feet, and that will be enough for the first down. A very good play from the quarterback to the wide receiver. Making the catch was Chandler Rashbrook.
It's a good catch by Chandler and a good move for him to get some more yardages out of that.
Andre Wiley Jr. on the stop for the white team, but the blue team trying to extend their short lead. They only up 10-7 right now with 6 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. This third quarter brought to you by Riddell, the USA official sponsor of both the helmets and shoulder pads.
Well, if the blue team is going to reestablish some dominance in this game, they're going to have to either move the ball into plus territory, even score on this particular possession to really try to take some of the wind out of the sail of the white team, because they've really kind of got the momentum right now. You can see with that last stop there.
And the handoff going up the middle to Andy Manzo, and didn't have much room to work with there. Maybe about 2 yards over the left side. Chase Nutzil able to make the stop, and that will bring up second down and 8. As they move closer towards midfield with the ball spotted at around the 35-yard line. The blue team getting the play from the sideline as, again, Coach, this is something very interesting. We don't see a lot of huddles, but again, it's because they don't have that time to practice the no huddle, so they have to work out of. But we don't see it too often anymore in today's game.
Well, a lot of things that you try to keep your offense or defense off balance by just doing the no huddle. So one of the things that offenses are really trying to stress now is trying to do the no huddle, because it keeps our defense really off balance, and they're always guessing of what you're trying to do.
There was Manzo again, this time getting the run off to the right side, getting about 2 or 3 yards on that carry as he picks up the gain. Brandley Cedillo and Austin Tynes both in on the tackle. So third down And about 3 to go as they work towards the 40-yard line here does the blue team. They find themselves up 10-7 with 4:20 left to go here from College Station, Texas in this USA Football National Developmental Game. This is the class of 2016. These kids will all be seniors for their respective high schools. A lot of these kids coming from the great state of Texas here this afternoon,
I think
or
we have
early evening now.
145 Texas players playing in the game today.
Nice stop on the dime, but again, good pursuit defense there. If you count them just real quick, there was about 9 players there next to the ball carrier. That's good pursuit defense.
That's what a defensive coach loves to see. Pursue the ball. I want to see all my players where the ball is.
Rashbrook making the grab, and it was Cameron Baker there leading that said pursuit. It will bring up 4th down, and with only a short lead with time ticking, 3:37 left in this third, Coach, do you go ahead and send this one away, or do you want to play a little dangerously?
I'm going to pin them. I'm going to try to pin them back because they've got the momentum right now, and if you take a chance here and give this ball to them in plus territory, you're going to be in a world of hurt. So, yeah, put the ball back there, let your defense come back out there and do their job.
Well, compared to USA's football beating a Team France 85-0, this has definitely been a defensive game, to say the least, as it's fielded and shanked. That would have been a fumble if this was a real play, but again,
that would have been dangerous.
Oh, I don't think he would be returning punts after that again if you saw that, Coach. But it's just it's a live. I want to say it's a live rep for the punter, but it is not a live play. I think that would make the most sense. So the ball will be down where the player made contact with it, and that would be on the white team's 28-yard line. So again, they're down by 3, looking for that score, and a field goal will count and tie up this game.
Yes, it will. Not only would number 18 not be running back punts for me anymore, he'd be running some sprints after this game is over.
I got to check with some of the sports information guys here for USA Football if they ever had one of these games go into overtime, because it looks like we're close to that might happening. Little pitch out to the outside and then met by 2 defenders on that blue team. So much for the momentum of the white team with a play like that to start off the drive.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. That's kind of suspect on that particular play. You know, you've got your receivers have shown that they can play against these defensive backs now. Now you're going away from that. You know, I understand you have to mix it up a little bit. So maybe that's his thinking right now. The coach is thinking right now is that maybe I need to mix it up a little bit on these guys.
That was a good stop by the blue team, led by Trey Reed, who was telling them to halt and stop where they were at. And as he stopped them behind the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 11 now with 2:25 left. The ball spotted at the 25 of the white team. Pump fakes and gets hit as he's thrown. This one a lame duck, and it's an interception.
Exactly
at the 40, 35-30, coming the other way. In the middle of traffic, still rumbling, tumbling as he gets brought down past the 25 to the 24. That was a huge play, Coach.
Yes, it was. That's
Justin Kennedy.
That is a momentum breaker right there. The offensive line did not hold their spots the way they should, and the quarterback's arm was hit on the play there. That's something that they're going to really work on. You can't get your quarterback taking punishment like that.
One of the captains for this team, Justin Kennedy, we've called his name so many times, Coach.
We've called his name a few times today. He's going to be a good one. I expect to see him playing at the next level, on the D1 level somewhere.
Speed, size, and most importantly, something that you can't always coach, those instincts.
Smart as instincts, exactly.
And that, again, could be one of those shock doctor play of the games right there. If the blue team can capitalize.
On this one, I would say that was one that I probably would be voting for.
You know, that's always strange. In order for those defensive plays to be those big-time changing momentum plays, the offense has to come through also.
Yes, they do.
As they throw this one out to the flats, makes a move, makes one man miss, another man miss, still on his feet after the spin. It is like a game of Madden out there. We have seen so many truck stick moves. It has been very impressive. On the catch, it was Skylar Whitten. On the stop, Duncan Foster. And the blue team now really starting to press here after getting a little bit of luck with that interception.
Yeah, it really showed. I think they've got to punch it in, though. They've got to get positive points out of this. They can't just turn the ball over, end up, kicking a field goal even. I say at least get a touchdown out of this. Big on field goals, but I like 6 points better.
Talking about Justin Kennedy real quick again, he looks like he's going to be one of those Siege Sports impact players of the evening, because right now he is really taking control of this game and helping this blue team to get where they need to be.
Yes, he's making a big difference in this game so far.
Quarterback with the football, hands it up, and it's going to go out to the outside. look at him go through 2 tackles and just drag another 2. It wasn't the biggest game that we've seen tonight, but it's going to be one of the most tenacious ones as he gets a first down out of all of that.
It's a good hard run, but that defensive player has got to make that play. He had him stop for just a few yards, and he kind of let him get away from him. He has got to make that play.
Donald Bowman running the rock hard as Duncan Foster came by to make the wrap-up tackle, but it was a little too late. 55 seconds, and the clock continues to wind down here in the third quarter. This blue team going from left to right. They are right on that outside looking in, trying to knock in on the door and say, hey, let me in because we need to get another touchdown. 10-7 your current score. Blue team looking to go up by a little bit more. They break the huddle with twins to the left-hand side and to the right-hand side. Of course, the short field right. One running back and Bowman in the backfield as you see him switch. The base defense looks like to be a man-to-man coverage here. Quarterback will hand it up off to the middle again. Big spin by Bowman.
It's a good run by Bowman. It's a good hard run, keeping his legs moving upfield, running through tackles and making those guys have to tackle him. So that was a good hard run by Mr. Bowman on that play.
Jarrett Bell coming across the middle again to smack him on his way down. 5 seconds left here. They might let this one finish up, and they will.
Let this one go on and count out, so good job.
So the final frame coming up here from College Station, Texas, home of the Cougars here at College Station High School. 10-7 your current score. The blue team in the lead and looking to punch one in as we get ready for the fourth and final quarter here. We'll be back with more football for you here on USAFootball.com.
I got plans.
I'm going places.
Here I come.
I got plans to pick myself up.
I will gain trust. I'm gonna earn everything I get.
I got plans to command your respect.
I've got plans to push my limits.
Hey! I got plans to be great.
Let's go, get in.
Welcome back to College Station, Texas, the fourth quarter of this USA football developmental game coming up here shortly as we have a lot of the kids that we'll be playing tomorrow looking at us here in the press box. I know they're excited to be having their names called as the handoff goes up the middle. He's met by 2 defenders. High and low, and not letting Bowman get into the end zone. They are right on that doorstep, Coach. That blue team really trying to increase their lead here in this fourth and final frame, and the white team will be doing everything in their power to keep them out of the end zone.
Yeah, they're trying to get that defensive line fired up to trying to stop them there. So they're going to really have to pick it up because that running back for the blue team is really punishing them right now, making them keeping them back on their heels. So they're going to have to really step it up. They're going to stop them at this point.
Huge moment coming up here.
Yes, it is. Big moment for the white team.
3rd down and 1. You have to think if they can shut down the blue team here, that might just force them to kick the field goal and try to extend their lead by 3. We'll see what happens. He's still out of the spread here. They'll hand it up off the middle.
Oh, good stop by the defense.
Oh, Coach, I can't agree with you more. Big-time defense there as Andre Wiley Jr. was the man leading the way coming from his defensive back position to make the initial hit.
Yeah, Andre had really kind of stepped it up there. He's really firing his team up out there, and he really got them ready for that play. Now, blue coaches, they're going to have to know for a fact they're going to be keen on that running back now because he brought him this far. So he's going to have to come up with something just a little bit different because they're going to be looking for him to get that ball. So he's got to do something a little bit different if he's going to punch it in right now.
You know, I know you're the professional coach here, not me, sir, but play-action pass might be something that they should think about if they decide to go for it, which it looks like they might.
Well, I'm not going to do a Seattle Seahawk there. I'm still one of the ones. I still like at this point to really go with my hogs and either go to the outside, 1 to 2. I like one of the things that a lot of teams don't do anymore. We don't do power sweeps anymore. Let those hogs get out there and block for your running back and give him 1 yard there. I think you can do that here. But
no. Here we go. They're going to hand it up off the middle. Did he get in? Did he get in?
I think he got in.
No signal yet. We have it here on the near side.
One official over here says yes.
All right, let's make it official, folks. Touchdown, blue team.
Good job.
Donald Bowman putting the shoulder level down, keeps those legs pumping and churning, goes up the middle and makes the touchdown. Here you see the instant replay right here, Coach. It was just the big Hall Miley's up front, smashing into the defensive line and clearing just enough room for Bowman to get in.
Room. Yeah, you've got to, at that point, when you're that close, you've got to let your hogs just kind of clear it out. For your linemen have got to be able to get you 1 yard. That's one thing that if my back and my lineman can't get me 1 yard, then we don't need to be playing. And certainly I don't need to. I'm not coaching at the professional level or anything, but I would have kind of done something a little bit different in the Super Bowl.
Well, the PAT is good. So the blue team goes up by 10 once again. They have the 17-7 lead against the white team here in this USA football developmental game. And again, every kid that you see out here, depending on which class they are, looking to represent the United States at the International Bowl. This is kind of a dress rehearsal to find out who are the best of the best across the nation. And this will continue on. I know that USA football, we have a couple of games coming up for you tomorrow. They'll be on the road to Towson. We have some very hardworking individuals for USA football that have been on the road since Canton. I know that for sure. So they have been everywhere, man. Literally, just like that Johnny Cash song says.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
And when you're in the state of Texas, there's an awful lot of places to go. And like you said, 145 of these players representing this great state of the red, white, and blue flag. A few coming in over from Georgia, Florida, California, but they can literally come from all over the United States for a chance to compete. And that's all that USA football gives them, to give them a chance to compete. Every kid has a chance. The white team trying to compete and get back into this contest.
Oh, man, wide open.
Beautiful move in the pocket. A beautiful catch made. That might not change everything in this game, but Derek Ryan making another one of those behind having to jump in the air, snag back grabs, and possibly another shock doctor play of the game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I said that earlier, that he could challenge those defensive backs for the blue teams, and they went away from that last series. That's why I don't understand that, but he can definitely make a difference in this game and bringing this team back, and he's going to have to, the coach is going to have to really look toward him a little bit more.
And it seems like they got the hookup right there with Derek Ryan, as he's been making some big plays. Probably one of those Siege Sports impact players that might be the impact player after all is said and done. Again, we are in that fourth and final quarter. Only 9 minutes and 51 seconds remaining, and the white team finds himself down by 10. But if they can continue making plays like that, Coach, we will have ourselves a barn burner by the end of this one.
Yes, we will. And I think one of the things that the white team is starting to realize, the coaching staff for the white team is starting to realize, that they have a weakness there in that defensive backfield of the blue team. So they're going to have to exploit that a little bit more than they've done so, because they can really play those guys, and they're just going to have to be able to do that, because they can exploit that and take advantage of that weakness.
Coach, if you're that blue team, do you think maybe going to a man-to-man defense instead of seeing these zones that they've been running so far, but they've been getting beat?
I would definitely go to a man-to-man. I would not stay in that zone, because he's picking that zone apart.
Well, let's see what happens here. First down and 10, ball spotted at the 29-yard line of the blue team. As we get ready to go back to the action now, Andrew Hayden at the quarterback position has plenty of time to throw, trying to set it down right in the middle of the zone. Instead, it overthrows his wide receiver.
And the same thing, he had that his primary receiver that he's still looking mostly at. He had two receivers here on the wide side of the right field that he could have really, if he had looked off and gone to them, he probably would have had, maybe not a touchdown, but certainly had a lot plus yards in that.
Hayden getting the play from the sideline, coming back in to tell the boys in the huddle and getting ready to break that huddle. The blue team sticking with that 4-3 base, of course, but it looks like they are more content this time just sticking with the zone. That man-to-man is going to be nothing but a pipe dream at the moment. 9:42 left. Hayden getting the football. Getting chased. He gets hit from behind. Able to get away from one tackle. Still on his feet. That's an amazing play right there. Until the throw, and the catch just was not there. Dropping the ball, unfortunately, was Taylor O'Neal. But, Coach, what an athletic play by the quarterback, Andrew Hayden.
Not to give up on that play. but his receiver's going to have to help him out on that. The quarterback did everything he needed to do to get positive yards out of that, then your receiver drops the ball.
Well, you can believe Chris Serta would love to have that play back. He had him, and then it was like, whoop, where do you go?
Yeah, Chris, you're going to have to learn to hold on to that a little bit more. You know, maybe he heard footsteps coming as well.
How much tighter can you wrap up there, Coach? You know, that's the one thing, as I became an adult, as opposed to a high school player, I remember playing in high school, being coach. You know, coaches are always like, you can do better. And it's like, yes, you can. But sometimes you're just like, what else, Coach? You saw it, didn't you? I wrapped up as tight as I could, and the guy still got away.
Still got away from it.
3rd and 10. Hate it. Looking, he has one-on-one coverage. Trying to go with that acrobatic catch once again. You thought third time would be the charm for Mr. Ryan, but instead he is not able to make the grab. Dallas Blaylock Jr. with great coverage.
Pretty good coverage.
Left him
there.
on the island.
I think if that quarterback puts it up a little bit more and lets him go up and get it, he's a big receiver. Let your receiver go up there and get that ball.
Very similar to that Des Bryant role for the Dallas Cowboys, a big, tall, athletic receiver that can go up and get it.
Big, tall receiver just got a big, tall contract.
Sometimes it pays to be good.
Yes, it does.
8:55 left to go in this fourth quarter. Right now, the white team needing a huge, monumental, I can't tell you how many synonyms of big play that they need right now, because it's 4th down and 10. They are in enemy territory, but they are on the outside of the red zone. So they're a bit of ways. Of course, the first down, the most important thing right now. But, Coach, do you think they might just fake it and try to go for the big play and go for it all?
No, he's running out of time. He has to go for it here. He has to pick this first down up. He can't do any more faking. So
the rush comes very dangerously, and the offensive line couldn't hold up its part of the bargain.
Nope.
Number 55, that is Trey Reed making a big play. And that, I'm not saying it's going to end it for the white team. The white team defense can come back, but that is definitely a momentum changer.
That's going to be a backbreaker. I see that. You know, one thing that Trey saw in that is that they knew that they had to go for a long pass on that, so he could just peel his ears back and just go on a blitz on that, and that's exactly what he did. He just gambled on that on the blitz, all-out blitz, and he, you know, there was a gap in that 4 hole there for the offense, and he just made the play.
As you saw, that replay brought to you by Marriott. Again, Marriott, one of our sponsors here. Our fourth quarter, we want to thank our sponsors once again. It will be Physio Control from LeafPack Defibrillators, the official AED provider of USA Football, and of course Siege Sports, the official uniform provider of the U.S. national teams. And again, we have mentioned those awesome uniforms. You mentioned it too, Coach. You had one of your kids play for USA Football. They do a really nice job
do an excellent
outfitting
job.
Team USA.
It's come a long way since the burlap saps we used to wear.
Making a great play with his hand to make the guy miss, throws it downfield, and it almost was picked off.
Good defensive play there.
Coach, I think you'll agree, sometimes if you're not going to catch the ball, the second best thing you can do is knock it down.
Exactly. Make sure that defensive man doesn't get it as well.
And that's exactly what the wide receiver did there. He made a big play. He probably doesn't even really know it because that negated a possible interception. Chandler Rashbrook doing a nice job. Aaron Lacey, the man who almost had a big play for the white team. And right now, big plays are a huge commodity because they need to get points back on the scoreboard in a hurry if they want to equalize this thing.
Yeah, the white team's going to have to gamble a little bit on these pass plays. I'm surprised that Blues even passing like that with a lead like this in the time that's left in the game. So they keep stopping the clock, and that's going to help the white team out. So I'm surprised they're not running the ball, keeping the ball on the ground and keeping it in between the sticks there to keep the clock moving. But that's the coach's philosophy. They'll see how it pays off for them.
That's that philosophy of USA Football, going with that spread. They do keep it on the ground this time, bounce it outside back into the inside. That's exactly what you want to do. If you're a defense, stay at home. And that will be a small gain on the ground for the blue team. Chase Notusil, I hope I pronounced it right at least once here today, making another stop. Christian Mallard, the running back, again getting the carry. The white team doing a nice job to stop the run for the blue team.
They did a very good job. They did a very good job stopping them. And
those passes, though.
Yeah, those passes are the things that are killing them right now. But they, got to keep that blue has to keep that clock moving. So I'm not sure what they're going to do this play, but I would not pass the ball.
Well, 3rd down and 6. This normally would be a passing play. We'll have to see what the blue team decides to do. Man-on-man coverage on the outside from what I can see thus far, Coach. as they get the change from the outside. Tatum Blaze, the quarterback right now for the blue team, with trips to his right. They're going to fake the handoff, and he's going to keep it. No, he'll dump pass it instead. And it looks like they had a little razzle-dazzle, and they're going to blow the play dead.
Yeah, the knee touched the ground, so as soon as that knee touched the ground, this play's dead. So I was saying, it was, there was a running play. I thought that it was a play, but that stayed in bounds, so I guess they still run the clock on that. It was interesting that he would pass that and end up losing yards, so it's going to be able to, depending on the punt.
Well, Coach, I'm a little bit of a historian, and it took so many years off of the offshoots of the run and shoot and other shotgun-based formations like the K-gun in order to develop something like this, where we see it in widespread use, like the spread formation, and also it has effects of the West Coast offense as well, and that's why we saw this running play here, which is technically a passing play, but because of the playbook, is technically their version of a quick, short running play.
Yeah, basically what he was trying to run there was what's called a jailbreak screen.
Yeah.
Because of what had happened, the defense really had it diagnosed very well. That's why it didn't work. But, with this with the spread defense that they have out there, it's going to be really hard for them to be able to run that jailbreak screen. And if they hadn't run it all game, so I was just kind of surprised that they ran it now.
Well, that punt is sent away, and it'll be down on the 18. So the white team's defense doing exactly what it had to do. It didn't make the big play to get the turnover, but it made the stop. 7 minutes and 30 seconds remain in this fourth quarter. The Friday night lights are upon us now here in College Station High School on the field of the Cougars, who call this place home. We want to thank you again for tuning in with us here on USAFootball.com. SUV TV, your provider of what you're seeing right now. I'm joined by the coach Mark Taplett, a coach over at Rudder High School. I know I was trying not to say college.
Rangers.
I was trying not to say Brian Rudder because I know how the animosity is there. I'm the Smash Justin Simmons. Always happy to be with y'all here in the great state of Texas for this high school football game. As this one's tossed and it's picked off.
Went to the well too many times there.
And that was the young man once again, Mr. Junior Dallas Blaylock Jr. That's going to be one of those impact plays.
Yes,
that is possibly the shock doctor play of the game, because that one possibly could end it. Mr. Momentum just changes his address every now and then, and I think he changed it to reside with the blue team.
Yeah, I think you're right there, but I think this is still going to go back to the initial interception play. It's still going to be my top play, because that not only changed the momentum, but they actually scored on that, so that really changed the complexion of this game.
I agree with you thus far, but there's still plenty of football left in these 7 minutes.
A lot to go, so we're going to see what they can do out of the white team's going to have to really take some chances now. I think he had his man beat. The quarterback just kind of threw it behind his receiver there. But he had his man beat. He just kind of threw it behind him.
Fans, don't forget, we are fully linked up on the social media, so you can always tweet back in. You can Instagram us and, have your say as you'll see it come across your board. And there it is down low. You can tweet us at USNFT or follow us on Instagram at USNFT. Let us know what you think. Who do you think should have the big play of the game? Who should be this player of the game? Who should be the shock doctor? Impact player of the game, as this one is put up the middle, and now it looks like the blue team is more than content to just try to run out the clock.
I think that's probably the wise decision on it. Just keep it on the ground, keep heading upfield, and just let that clock run.
Cameron Delano on the stop for the white team, and it looks like we had a penalty. It was assessed, and that will bring up second down after it was declined.
No, it was declined. Yeah, they declined the penalty. I didn't see exactly what it was there, but they declined it.
What's been really impressive, and this goes to show you how good the coaching is and how disciplined these kids have been. We haven't seen a whole lot of penalties in this game.
No, we haven't.
Especially given the amount of time they've given to practice with each other.
I have to agree with you. It goes to the discipline and it goes to the structure that these coaches set up to teach these kids, to keep that focus on the game and not on just making mistakes. So I can certainly credit the coaches for what they've done with the kids today.
And I want to bring up something about that after this play. As the handoff goes up the middle, still spinning. Now we have a rugby scrum starting to form in the middle. And finally getting pushed back was the big running back for the blue team. And that was Anthony Manzo. Not able to get too far, but Cameron Baker, he has been everywhere today for the white team, making another stop. Folks, let me just tell you really quick, though, USA Football really wants to thank College Station High School for the hospitality that they have shown here and letting us use this fantastic venue. It really is nice and intimate place to watch a high school football game, one of the premier facilities in the state of Texas. And trust me, we have some really big stadiums in this state, but sometimes you just need the right size stadium to get the full feel, and that's what you get here in College Station, Texas. The quarterback throwing it out here to the outside, lots of room in the flat to work with, still tiptoeing that line, then pushed out of bounds. It will be a nice pickup by Jacoby Brown and the blue team.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Justin. I appreciate what College Station Independent School District's done and being, opening the facilities to us and all the hospitality that they have shown us here. And it really is a good venue that they have here, a very good feel that they have here.
I know they're looking forward to the Friday Night Lights as much as we're looking forward to seeing the ones that we have right now. Of course, we want to thank Gatorade, Riddell, and all the other sponsors for USA Football for putting on such an event and letting this happen here to take some of the best players in the nation across their grade levels for a chance to compete, to play for the Team USA, the USA Developmental National Team. That is some amazing stuff here, and I know there's some kids that have made their cases thus far. The handoff up the middle. Still running, still chugging, and then finally getting pushed down to the ground after a big-time gain. That's just hard running right there by the running back.
Hard running by the running back. Just head upfield. Just use your legs. Keep those legs churning and keep that clock a-running.
The Tussle again on the stop. Manzo again on the run. We have called those names all night tonight. There's some real impact players for both squads.
Yes,
unfortunately, I hate to say it, but sometimes to the spoils go the victors, and some of those kids that end up on the victorious side of these two teams will probably get a little bit more name recognition at the end of this, but there have been some great plays for both teams thus far.
I agree with you.
4 minutes and 50 seconds left. The blue team ahead, 17-7 here. The quick slant pass outside. Oh, he stuck him.
It was a good tackle. It was a good open field tackle. He didn't just play ball on the player, just didn't let him get away from him. Just made a good tackle there. Good tackle. Nothing excessive about that. Just a really good tackle by the defensive back.
That's what you teach over there at Rudder. Put that shoulder pad right in the middle and bring your legs and bring your hips and wrap up.
Drive that man back.
Hey, make sure you keep the head up, just like they teach you in USA Football.
Exactly.
Got to see your target. That was a big play there. That'll bring up third down in short. Only one to go. And the white team needs to make a huge stop to have almost any chance to remain competitive in this game. And it's 17-7. And, Coach, I'm expecting maybe a hard count here to try to draw the white team offside.
No, I'm going with my running back. He's brought me this far. That's what I'm going with, my line and my running back.
Let's see what happens here. They're going to hand it off. And this time he doesn't run through the hole. He stopped.
This line did not do the job this time. They went with exactly what I thought they would, but that line has got to hold their spots.
Manzo trying to find some room. Instead, he is held up behind the line of scrimmage. Garrick Hasken makes the stop behind the line of scrimmage. He was just able to bully into the center and drive him back.
Drive him back.
Running back had nowhere to go.
He beat his man to the point, drove the offensive man back and shuck him off and made that tackle. Good job by the defense.
Well, we want to thank our other sponsors just really quick, folks. Sports Authority, the official sporting goods retailer of USA Football. Of course, St. Vincent Sports Performance. And Upper Deck. All these players that do make the U.S. national team will end up having an Upper Deck football card. Their very first football card, their official, the real deal, Coach. I'm so jealous about that. That's all I ever wanted. That and to wear the Team USA jersey, as this field goal is no good. So the blue team trying to extend their lead with 2:55 left. And instead, this game remains a 10-point game, 17-7 your score, with the white team having a chance to try to get back into this one with just enough time on the clock.
Yeah, it's a tough. They're probably not going to win this game, but they can make a good showing here at the end, showing that they didn't give up and that they're still going to play ball all the way to the final buzzer here. So if they can keep playing and get some positive yards out of this and maybe even a score out of this, it'll go a long way with these kids on the white team.
So the white team comes back out of the huddle. They have to drive about 80, we'll make it about 75 yards in order to hit the end zone to try to help get back into this contest. The spread formation is made for such a thing. Let's see if they can utilize it to its fullest advantages.
Well, one of the things, Coach, you're going to look at is that, if they keep playing, it shows character, because you're not going to win every game. And if you keep playing, that shows a lot more character sometimes than even games that you lose.
Flush from the pocket, puts it up into triple coverage, and again, looking for Derek Ryan. Ryan really been the go-to receiver for the white team this evening.
Yeah, and he's going to see triple coverage the rest of this game. He just might as well get used to it. He's going to see triple coverage every time he runs there, runs a route. He's going to be triple covered. They're not going to let him beat him.
You see the quarterback, Andrew Hayden, signaling to the ground, telling the guys to hurry up because they're going to go no huddle essentially here for the last remaining minutes of this game. And unfortunately, that pass not exactly in a good catchable area. It was at the knees. Derek Ryan again was the intended receiver. And again, looking for Ryan, trying to find that hookup, but I think the blue team has finally figured out who the main man is, so to speak.
I think so. They figured it out that they're not going to let him beat them rather. So they're going to be keying on him every play, and once he gets past that first level of that zone, he's going to find either two more defensive backs on him.
2 downs gone and no yardage to show for it. 3rd down and 10, 2:45 remains, and the ball spotted on the white team's own, I want to say, let's say, 27-yard line.
27-yard line, yes. I think you're about right on that.
2 running backs in the backfield with 2 receivers to the near side. Hayden will throw it deep, looking for Derek Ryan again, and there you saw the double coverage,
Yep.
1 man short, 1 man deep.
Well, he's going to get that underneath and that over every time.
Dallas Blaylock Jr. again, the deep man there to help cover the very explosive Derek Ryan. 4th down and 2:41 left to go, Coach. It's supposed to be a punt situation, but we might not get it here.
You're not going to get a punt. Well, I don't think you would, but he's going to punt. He's not going to want to give him that ball that's close to the end zone with that running back that they have. So yeah, I agree with it. Just going to punt it away at this point.
And remember, folks, the punt is not a live play. It is just a live rep. So here comes the punt. It's a high punt, spiraling, and it will be fielded just shy of the 45. So the blue team will take over on the white team 45-yard line. They have the 17-7 lead with 2:35 remaining in this game from College Station, Texas. This USA National Team Developmental game. And a lot of these players, again, Coach, making their case heard, seen, showing that they deserve to represent the United States at the International Bowl at its highest level.
Yeah, I think they've done a good job with that, and no matter who they select, I think we're going to have a good showing, and we're going to have good representation from these kids, because they've certainly showed us what they had out here today. But like I said, I hope that what they've learned during this time that they've had here will translate into them being a better player at their schools and helping their schools be a better team and be better at what they do in their districts.
Yeah, USA Football has USA National Team Pathways, this regional development camps. They have these 2-day football developmental camps where athletes train with some of the best coaches in the region. And then that's their official tryout for the U.S. National Team program. And when you are selected, you get to come to this level where the quarterback is brought down from behind by the white team. A big play by the defensive lineman and a second half that needs more big plays from Cameron Baker. Of course, he has been everywhere, but he has been fantastic. These USA National Team developmental games, like what you see right here, all the athletes who do participate are part of the U.S. National Team program, and the athletes are technically on U.S. developmental teams. And then hopefully they get to the top level, which is the U.S. Select Team or the U.S. National Team, depending on their age limit and what type of competition they're trying to play for.
And it's going to be a good experience for these kids to not only just represent USA, but also to be able to travel and be able to see the country, because a lot of these kids probably have never been outside of the states where they've been, and to be able to travel and represent USA football and also see a different part of the country, I think it'd be good for the kids culturally.
As this handoff, and he's eaten up and behind the backfield. And another big play. This time it wasn't Cameron Baker, I can tell you that much. But instead it was Keithlin McLeland, one of the more interesting names on this roster, making a big play for the white team defensively. And that will bring up 3rd down and a long ways to go. Only a minute 15 left. I don't think if they do have a timeout, the white team isn't going to use this. The clock continues to run here with a minute 10 remaining. We have seen a very good game, lots of big plays.
A very good game, a very solid game.
And again, I like to take this moment just real quick to thank our sponsors while we still have some game time. Wilson, Siege Sports, Riddell, Shock Doctor, Gatorade, the Marriott Hotel chain, Sports Authority, St. Vincent Sports Performance, Upper Deck, and everybody else. Of course, College Station, High School, College Station, Independent School District for opening up the stadium for us to use. And of course, we do got some games coming at you tomorrow as we have a whistle blown by the official.
I think blue team's going to call a timeout here with 39 seconds left to go in the game. I think they were running out of time before their play ended, so it would be penalized rather.
And again, we've already talked about just a little while ago about the 3 levels of the USA football program and how you get to become part of the U.S. select team and or U.S. national team. And, of course, the International Bowl is what these players are working towards, and it will be played in February at Jerry's World at AT&T Stadium. So these kids are going to get to play under the lights with the big star at the 50-yard line. And not only that, they get these beautiful uniforms by Siege Sports to represent the USA as we have these kids having a little bit of a thing going on here in the stands. I'm telling you, there's nothing but good vibes here in College Station, Texas. A lot of young men having a really good time representing the United States, representing their hometowns, their area codes, and trying to show who's who and what's what in this game of American football.
You know, and I like to see that, all these kids come together like this, and it's just a good time for them just to have just with each other, not, they understand the competition out on the field, but once they're not on the field, just kind of getting together and just having a good time, just dancing over there and just rapping. So they're having a good time, and that's what it's really all about.
And I think this is really good for the parents as well, because a lot of times you drop them off at school, you see they go to practice, all this stuff usually happens in the locker room where you see this team camaraderie, and you don't get to see that here, and I think this is a good chance for not only the players, but for the parents to see how they get to see their kids just be a kid.
I agree.
A lot of pressure on these kids these days in this society.
A lot of things that bid for their attention these days.
Yeah, so it's nice just to see them just to enjoy it. As that run goes to the outside, it's stopped by Cameron Delano, and 20 seconds left, more or less. We do have some games coming at you here tomorrow. We still have that play of the game from Shock Doctor coming up for you. I'm thinking it was going to be that interception that got him the touchdown.
I'm going with the interception. It changed the whole complexion of the game. White had the momentum at that time, and at that point, they were even moving the ball.
And here you see it coming up right here, Coach.
Yeah. So look at that. They were moving that ball, and it's a good pressure by the defense to make the turnover, and then get the turnover, and then capitalize on that, because you still have to capitalize on that turnover.
Yeah, Justin Kennedy making that big play there as this game has finally ended after all of what we saw. A lot of big action, lots of big hits, some big plays. And again, the effort totally there this evening. A 17-7 win for the blue team, Coach. And again, a terrific game play by both sides and great coaching all around. But the blue team just making a few more plays this evening in order to get the victory.
Yeah, I think you're right. The blue team did what they needed to do to win this game, and when they really needed to step up and to break the momentum of the white team, they did so. Because White went in at halftime, they scored with 2 plays in 5 seconds, and that was just a momentum kill. And they came out even establishing themselves, as dominant in the second half. So for them to make that turnover, and not only get that turnover, but to punch it in for points was really the backbreaker in this game. I really think that was a backbreaker.
Coach, coming into this game, I really thought it was going to be the defenses that were at the disadvantage. Instead, it was the offenses as the defenses were the ones that really made the bulk of the big plays.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the defensive squads out here on both sides of the ball. They really had stepped up, for not having to practice together and playing with a bunch of guys you've never played with before. For them to do what they did tonight and to stay in their zones and everybody to play their positions and stay where they're supposed to, I think they did a very good job. So I was really hats off to the coaching staff, defensive coaching staff on what they did with the kids.
And again, folks, don't forget that we do have some games coming up for you tomorrow, and you can follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. We'll tweet those out for you. First game will start at 9 a.m. The second game will be following at 11 a.m., and you can tweet us at USNFT or follow us on Instagram, USNFT, at both the same address for 2 different social applications for USA Football. And again, you can always follow along on YouTube and on USAFootball.com. Again, we already showed you our play of the game. I think, Coach, if you would agree with me, our Siege Impact player of the game Justin Kennedy, the
Oh,
linebacker who
Jeff
made the
Saturday.
interception, and lots of other big plays here tonight.
Very stepped his game up today. He was all over the field when he needed to. He was making plays in the backfield and even that interception. So, yeah, I have to agree with you. And, Justin, I just want to say I really enjoyed working with you today, and hopefully we'll have a chance to do this again sometime.
Well, we're going to be back here tomorrow again, Coach. I was going to tell you, I'm glad that I got to work with you here tonight. We got 2 big games coming at you tomorrow, and it should be an exciting time. Again, we want to thank College Station ISD, College Station High School for allowing us to be here. And, of course, SUV TV for putting on this fantastic broadcast.
Yeah, did a great job.
Your replays, all the graphics, the top-notch production effort by this terrific team based out of Georgia, I believe.
Use them for your next wedding.
And, of course, all the guys for USA Football, they have done everything that we needed, always making sure that we got everything that we needed, rosters, names, food, you name it, they took care of us. Of course, all of our wonderful sponsors like Gatorade, Wilson, Shock Doctor, Marriott, and everybody else that contributes to the success of USA Football. So for everybody involved, of course, our production crew, all the people here for USA Football, my color commentary, the coach Mark Tablet. We'll see you again tomorrow. I'm the Smash Justin Simmons. Good night for now. Get ready to get up early because we're going to have some fantastic football for you here tomorrow in College Station, Texas.
All right.